So we'll know if this worked because this is going to show... There we go. Stream health. Receiving your content. You are now live. Yay! Looks like it's actually working! It's not fully green, which again is probably because we are at a different location than usual. But hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Things are obviously set up a little bit different today. You may notice that I'm starting with the game already having been loaded up for us. I am joined today, in person, by my usual co-host, Cybernetic Pink Eye.
You know, the cynical part of me, which is to say most of me, wants to say that this is either a sequel or prequel to Hatoful Boyfriend.
You know, I think this would actually be the sequel, all things considered, because at this point they're being turned into the food.
I mean,
you do want them to be. Hi! Welcome back, Skeeto!
yes.
Very glad to hear from you. I hope that you enjoyed... Well, I can't say that you enjoyed your time away, because we know that that's probably not likely. But I hope that you enjoyed coming home again. Yes. And I hope that today we can entertain you and hopefully countless others joining in the fun today. Now, since I am all the way over in Portland...
Yes.
With my good friend Griffin here, actually visiting him in person, I don't have access to my game files. I could have imported them, but there was going to be a fuck ton of difficulty actually trying to get that all set up here and then bringing that back again. So instead what we are doing is I am simply streaming from his computer, from his setup and all of that. So if there are...
And she will not stop bitching about it.
I will not stop bitching about it, because how dare you have an old computer that is completely fucked?
How dare I have a typical computer setup?
It's not a typical computer setup.
I have one screen, and that's one of your issues.
Okay, just because you're cheap and can't afford a second screen.
Uh-huh.
I haven't actually bitched about that too much, though. I actually haven't. I could have bitched a lot more about that. And there goes the monetization for this video.
Well, I mean... Look at what we're playing. I think that was sort of inevitable.
You're implying that there's something that's going to be inappropriate about this game, and I'm not sure yet. I haven't actually seen anything of this game, so I'm going to even start off by saying I have literally never played this game before. I haven't watched anyone play this game before. The only thing I know of it is what we are seeing on the screen right now, is that you apparently are going to have Colonel Sanders as a romantic interest. There's also apparently an intro to this, but I don't want to, run the risk of fucking up whatever delicate balance I have with the stream right now in trying to, show you guys the intro. I have no doubt there are countless people who have recorded and posted that to YouTube.
Suffice it to say, it's so extra, it almost broke my computer.
Yeah, that's the other part of it. It tried to be an anime opening, and Griffin's computer basically went... Oh!
Right off the bat.
Right. Well, I guess whatever monetization I would have gotten from this video has now just been covered.
Ironically, the donation is the same color as the indicator that says we won't get paid for this.
True. Although I think that's not so much... Well, yeah, it is. I was gonna say this is also bright yellow here, but I think that's because your computer sucks. But thank you. Again, Skeeto, as always, thank you. I appreciate having you here regardless, but you are an incredibly generous person. So, right off the bat, just kind of looking at this, and also let me know how the audio balance is, by the way.
Just looking at this. Look at this celebration of both white supremacy and late-stage capitalism rolled into one.
And we're continuing to do all of, well, this thing.
Again, she will not stop.
Excuse me? I have no room to complain about your mouse jumping all over the screen?
Works just fine when I use all my shit.
Well, you don't stream.
True.
It's fine. Okay. But again, let us know if anything actually happens. Alright, so that's, I guess...
Listen to that crunch.
You are within striking distance now.
Yeah, well, so are you, judging by that, demonetization.
Stop blocking!
Listen to this abuse.
Stop!
For those who can't see at home,
Which is everyone.
I'm trying to block her from striking me, and in the process, we're inadvertently doing jazz hands.
Wax on, wax off, motherfucker!
Now we're doing patty cake for some reason.
You're the one who did that!
We have fun here.
Do we?
Evidently.
We also have donuts.
You stay out of this, Skeeto.
Griffin, take your lumps.
Remember.
There we go, I'm popping you on the peck like always.
I guess I'll take those donuts back. For reference, we went to Voodoo Donuts earlier today.
You're gonna fucking do that? You're gonna do me like this?
Turnabout is fair play.
You're gonna take away my donuts? You're gonna take away my only joy in life? Okay.
I mean, you're a martyr to your cause. I went full Bruce Lee on that one.
Audio is gone completely. We spent so long on this bullshit that the game audio completely stopped. Okay.
Even it is done with our shit. Anyway.
Let's get things going with this today, because I'm actually curious to see what this game is.
Curiosity is one word I'd use, not in reference to me, so much as, well, morbid curiosity, maybe.
Okay, you can...
Yeah.
You can stop now.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
Oh.
Joy.
Okay, well...
I love how it's got a punch sound effect for every entry. Like,
do you hear how abusive he is?
uh-huh.
I mean... yeah, those are ingredients that you can find in your local KFC.
You are getting very hungry.
You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment.
With Chicken Christ portrayed in the background.
You're not even wrong. The world is peaceful and serene. You could stay in the moment forever. Or you could wake up. Now! Your first day of culinary school is no time to sleep in.
I didn't know we were playing Food Wars.
Smack that clock. Up and at 'em.
And ring that bell.
I mean, please, if you want to subscribe to my channel, be sure to hit the bell so that you can actually be notified either when I go live or when I upload a new video. Lying in bed, you stare at the ceiling, thinking about everything that awaits you at the prestigious University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. Your mind begins to wander. I can't imagine with a name that long going into the school. Who will be there? What will you cook? What should you wear? Time begins to fly by, and you find your imagination getting away from you.
Imagine that.
You allow yourself to daydream a bit, thinking about the future, because that sounds like something I would do.
I mean...
It's here, finally. Your first day of culinary school. So many dishes to prepare, so many students to meet.
Welcome to Hideki Farms.
Your mind is swimming with possibilities when you realize you're running late. You grab a biscuit, of course it's a biscuit, as opposed to a toast, and burst out the door in a hurry. I'm late for culinary school! Delicious! Just what you needed to wake up those taste buds. I don't know why it's glowing. Yikes! You're in such a hurry, in fact, that you forgot to put on any deodorant before running out the door. You're sweating buckets as you rush to arrive on time. Uh-oh.
Thank you for covering the medical bills.
Thank you, Skeeto, for Griffin to take his lumps.
Mm-hmm.
His lumps. Remember, I am a delicate flower, and if you touch me the wrong way, I will die.
I mean... we just ET'd.
T-phone home. Alright. Standing in the quad, you gaze upon the magnificent University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, and that's apparently in France.
I mean...
sort of. Here comes your lifelong best friend forever, Miriam. She's the most adorably awkward person you've ever met, and you absolutely love her for it.
And apparently she's coleslaw.
Good morning, Lorelai. Are you excited for the first day of the rest of our lives? Actually, I'm... because I sure am! Excited, a little nervous. Okay, a lot nervous. The damn French.
Yeah. Pinger, what have you wrought?
What's the... Well, mayonnaise.
I'm sorry, you mean mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise! We love you, Pinger.
You too, Dawn.
What's the... It's just that this morning I made breakfast for myself, but, well, when I ate it, I couldn't taste any love in the food. What if I'm no good? What if I fail? Classic Miriam. Raised by Master Chef parents, she's always held herself to a very high standard.
Raised by Master Chief.
Fuck off. Ever since we were little babies playing together, you rescued me from that quicksand box. And you rescued me from that quicksand box. It's been clear to me that you're the most loving, caring person I know. You're gonna do great. Hi, Alex!
Hey!
For the love of God, it's this game. Well, yes, the love of me, we are playing this game.
Yes.
And also, Griffin's here.
Can we talk about... Sorry, because this reminds me of the new middle name you evidently got on here.
Okay, So, I'm not sure how much I want to reveal per se, but okay, so my middle name is Christine. Now, when I first filled out my name for the tickets and all of that, they originally dropped the E, so my middle name became Christine. And the actual boarding passes has shortened my middle name to Christ.
It was inevitable.
Apparently, I channeled the power of God.
Which would explain a fuck ton. Also, sorry to hear you can't stick around, Alex, but thank you for stopping by.
I mean, it is pretty late. I think if it's 6 hours ahead for me, plus another 2 hours, so about 8 hours ahead of now, and it is pretty late for you.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad that you were able to stop by, and I hope you have a lovely evening, and that you get plenty of rest.
Yes.
So.
Also, be sure to let us know if the levels are all right, as Laura said.
Yeah. Hi, Dork Princess.
Yes.
I'm not sure that you would be able to avoid this game. I mean, you might be able to, but I will miss you. I mean, oh god.
You have our sympathies, Skeeto.
I'm so sorry, Skeeto. Anyway, unfortunately, I don't think that the chat's gonna be showing up in the actual stream, because I don't have that set up here.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, all of you who are watching this afterwards are gonna have no idea what's being said in the chat. Skeeto has said, I'm in Louisiana right now, help, and, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm with University of Cooking School Academy for Learning's famous 3-day only semesters. I'm afraid of being left behind and never catching up! A sweet girl, Miriam has always had a flair for the dramatic. This summer she got so nervous about her first kiss that she chipped a tooth practicing on a mannequin. Should you pep talk her or change the subject to give her some relief? Well, let's pep talk her. I feel like that's a very me thing to do.
I was gonna say that's about your speed.
Yeah. Alright, so pep talk your best friend. Remember last month when we saw that fortune teller and had our tarot cards read? I mean, I would have done it, but whatever. I can read tarot cards, guys.
No shit.
The lady with the mask who gave me nightmares? I've been trying to forget. I know she looked spooky, but she was so sweet. And she told you that you were destined for great things. Remember that card with the fancy-looking tower? And that other card featuring a handsome fellow in the red suit? That sounds like, well, the tower card and possibly the fool?
Maybe.
I've been waiting for so long to meet a handsome fellow I could call my own. And I'm sure you will soon. In no time we'll be graduating, and you'll be delighting the world with your heartfelt cooking in no time at all.
Despite the fact that you're evidently 12.
As you talk Miriam up, you can feel her nerves begin to ease. You know what? Maybe everything will be okay after all. And if not, at least I have these killer bangs. I mean, that's one word for them.
I mean...
This game was official and endorsed by KFC. I mean, if anything, it's free advertising for KFC, which I do not personally endorse,
well,
but...
you say that, like, your mouth says Silence Brand, and your fingers say... this.
Delicious chicken?
Well, endorsement. On your channel.
Can you believe I cut them myself? Yes, I can. You can definitely believe it. I cannot believe it. Before you can get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom-engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. Hey! It's
Power Girl.
It's Ashley Aisley? your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants, and she knows it. Hello! Ashley? Ashley? Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shins.
You leave Lorelei's shins alone! They are perfectly normal shins!
Ugh, you can't stand that girl. Even her name is annoying. You know for a fact that it's actually Ashley. Okay. But she had to add extra letters to make herself feel better than everyone. You can only interrupt. Well, I mean, I appreciate the interruptions, but don't feel obligated.
Oh, yeah.
Again, as I always say whenever you pop up, you and no one else, no one should actually feel obligated, but
Oh, yeah.
it is.
Much appreciated.
I can't actually even tell you how much that actually made a difference. For example, I am presently here with my best friend,
Yes.
partly because of that support, so thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If anyone here knows what perfect shins look like, it's us!
we're not going to let you or your really weird insults get to us. Across the quad, you see Ashley's best friend, Van the Man, has stopped to look at his own reflection in the mirrors. His pants are so tight you can see him casually working out his glutes while he styles his hair. No lie, they're rockin' glutes.
At least someone here is wearing pants.
Van! What is with that fucking face?
That's very,
Hi, Dio.
I was about to say hers was a very, how to go face, and now we're looking at something straight out of fucking Kill la Kill.
Or JoJo's Big Adventures.
Or a
whatever.
fusion thereof. God damn it, Dork Princess.
You know what? Also,
Yeah. You rang.
you've never been sure what their arrangement is, but as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van have been just as close as you and Miriam, but substantially more devious.
Looks about right.
I can't believe that University of Cooking School Academy for Learning would ever allow people like you to attend as students. I know, right? You'd think they just hand us our diplomas now.
Or maybe hire us on as professionals. You amateurs could learn a lot from us.
That's also professors, but professionals as well. What are you watching, Infamous Coffee? That is a good question. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Sorry, I'm choking on the bullshit from this dude and his hair.
With the first day of school about to start, there's just not time to properly tell these two off, so you resist the urge. Let's go, Miriam.
Psst, see you later, losers!
As you approach the door, you see a goofy-looking kid pushing hard against the window directly next to it.
Oh, I was about to say, what is this Goof Troop character?
Oopsie. I think it's broken.
You reach forward and easily pull the door open. That should do the trick.
I love you!
I think you mean thank you?
My name is Pop. I was named after my Pop. He's old.
Could someone like this also be a student at the school? He must be one heck of a chef. Also, his name tag clearly says Bob, but I guess he's reading it upside down. Hi, Pop. I'm Lorelei. So, are you going to make me hold this door all day?
Nope.
And with that, the young man walks into the building ahead. I might have to do a different voice if he has more lines than that.
Yeah, just give me your Ash Ketchum voice.
Aww. Is it just me or is he kind of cute?
I think it's just you. You both shrug your shoulders before following him into the building. You stand at the edge of the room, unsure where to sit.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that dude in the picture is the CEO of KFC.
Probably. Other students wander in and keep themselves busy chit-chatting.
Well,
No. A
it-
scruffy-looking pooch takes his place at a podium at the front of the class. Skeeto, thank you, who has just donated and yet another chunk of money here. Thank you to Kill Game.
I love how like just the sparkle effect is just like a switch. Oh yeah, sorry.
Now, quiet down, everyone.
That is actually a perfect voice here.
I mean,
Who is this unreasonably cute pup, and why is he in our culinary class, and why is he talking?
You must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of USCEL.
Please call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and little and fluffy, but I still demand respect.
What? A cute dog is our professor? This is the best school ever! I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up all the nuances of fine dining.
Monokuma ain't got shit on me.
Out of nowhere, wind begins to rush around you as a swirl of cherry blossom petals fill the air inside the classroom. And are we going to have the grand entrance of that character, do you think?
I have the sneaking suspicion.
I'm chilly. Someone close the window.
And then he walks in. I'm just taking this in. I'm just taking it in. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable goatee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still.
It's him! It's...
If it isn't my favorite student, Harland.
Colonel Sanders interrupts Professor Dog, before he can finish his sentence.
You may want to cover your ears for this, Merity.
Please, call me Colonel. Colonel Sanders.
A hushed murmur rolls through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly, the room is sweltering, as compared to the sakura petals swirling before. Student. Sweat begins to bead across your brow. You feel like everyone is looking at you, and you're not entirely wrong.
Big mood, Dark Princess.
Who has said, I am in no way okay with this.
God damn it, kitty.
This is finger licking good.
Okay. And this over here must be Sweaty Sweats a Lot.
Maybe you should open the window back there before faucet pits melts into a puddle and evaporates entirely.
Hold on just a second. Nobody talks to my friend like that.
You two both know my name. We were in the same kindergarten class. And what is with all your really weird insults?
Besides, when Lorelai sweats, it's not gross, it's beautiful. Look at that shimmer.
This character is literally just the best friend character from Kill la Kill.
I'll have to take your word on that.
It's been so long, I can't remember.
You turn to find Colonel Sanders standing right there's the only option here. And I love that the dog is still so happy.
Owamamo Shinderu.
Oh, bitch! It's gonna leave a fucking mark. Goddamn.
Are you okay?
What do you think?
Did I actually hurt you?
You hurt me every time you slugged me.
Really?
Yes, I told you got a good right hook.
Meryl has said, "Thank you, Lore. Serves you right, Griffin." And or Sayori. Well, you're not wrong. Top 10 anime betrayals. Alright. You turn to find Colonel Sanders standing right in front of you. Colonel Sanders, beautiful angel that he is, stands before you, smiling gently, his hand outstretched.
Boy, howdy, this classroom gets hotter than a Kentucky fried. Please, use my handkerchief.
You freeze up. Colonel Sanders is talking to you. Wait, Colonel Sanders is talking to you about how sweaty you look? You're completely mortified. This can't be your first interaction. What if he never forgets this moment? How will you respond? Honestly, if someone offers you something, like, it's okay to accept it if it's something where you're, say, mopping sweat up, offer to wash it before returning it. But if someone's offering something to you, the ladylike thing or the gentlemanly thing is to accept it with grace and to thank the person who is offering it.
Yeah.
If you turn something down when someone is offering something to you, like straight up, no, I couldn't possibly. It actually, from what I have been told, what I have been taught in my life, it is actually sort of insulting their generosity. That they have decided to reach out to do something. So, just in general, try to accept someone being nice to you. If nothing else, it teaches people that it's okay to be nice to one another.
You know, I'm sure you would, Giddy. I'm sure you would, in fact, let him butter your biscuits.
I mean... Okay. Take the handkerchief. You stretch out your hand and Colonel Sanders places a fine silk handkerchief in it. It's so beautiful. Oh, he burst with fucking hearts.
I mean...
It's so beautiful, you hesitate to press it to your face, but when you do, the feeling is transcendent. It has its natural scent on. It has his natural scent on it. It smells of the most delicious chicken you've ever smelled.
I didn't know Yuri was in this game.
Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and set some ground rules.
Welcome to University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, the greatest culinary academy in the world. The birthplace of culinary legends past, present, and future. Many challenges await you. There will be tears. There will be blood. There might even be really adorable tiny food.
If there are tears or blood in your culinary school, then you need to consider what you're doing.
Where's the fucking lamb sauce?
Gordon Ramsay reference.
It's fucking raw!
That too.
Anyway. So many questions, they get no words to articulate them, so I'll have to stick with... You know what? That's a good summary.
I see what you did, Dork Princess. That's a direct quote from my reaction to Believe in Santa, that shitty movie Gabe and I watched.
Welcome to the Culinary School of Legends. Please ignore the clown to the back. He won't go anywhere. Anyway.
And when all is said and done, there will be a battle. You will lift your sporks and compete in the broom cooking arena.
Oh yeah, that video was perfect, says Meryl.
Oh yes, well thank you.
Just then, another student enters the classroom and interrupts the professor's rousing speech.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I hope everyone has had a good summer. I really miss...
You know what? That's not a bad interpretation.
Quiet! Late to class is bad enough, but interrupting my monologue? You're on the fast track out of here, young man. Are you sure you're even in the right place? Don't you recognize me? This is my third year in the school, with you as my teacher.
Why is he stooped like that?
You know what he is? He's Bizarro Gordon Ramsay.
Oh my god, you're not wrong. Everyone stares at him blankly.
Does no one remember me?
You're expelled if you utter one more word before I finish.
Let that be a lesson to you students that tardiness is
unacceptable!
There are other people around you now.
Oh yeah, many in the chat.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright, take care, Meryl, and enjoy your time with your friends.
Have a good one.
That video is how I feel right now.
Even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels.
Puppy's crying.
Yeah?
So it's just like, even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels.
You dare criticize my performance?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Unacceptable!
You turn to see the student Sprinkles is referencing, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. The class bursts into laughter.
Oh, Clank, you rascal!
Sprinkles walks in the classroom as everyone stands in silent obedience. When he gets to you, he lifts his nose to the air and takes a deep sniff.
Your diet is lacking. Based on what I'm picking up here, you definitely need a multivitamin. A vitamin, whichever you prefer. You should be taking better care of yourself.
You've never had a talking dog as a teacher before, but Sprinkles' reputation for being smart but tough is well known. You decide to try and butter him up by giving him a treat from your pocket, but what kind?
I think the answer here is obvious.
The rubber ball?
I was thinking chicken snack considering it's KFC game.
True. The chicken snack should absolutely be the thing. Okay. You reach beneath your apron and return with a chicken snack in your hand. Sprinkle's eyes go wide as he locks onto it. His favorite!
There you go.
Well, I think there might be some competition for a new star student.
The furry professor immediately devours the snack, leaving your hand slick with a coating of warm doggy drool. Well, good thing we have a handkerchief.
I mean,
You see the other students eyeing you jealously, but pay no mind to them. If they wanted to succeed in life, they would have learned the importance of carrying a range of dog treat flavors on them at all times.
Settle down, young chefs. Take your seats and prepare to have your minds open to the amazing possibilities of culinary creation.
As everyone rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only, didn't you go to your chair?
don't even worry about it, I guess.
Anyway, only 2 options remain.
Also, I love how my interpretation of the dog is basically just my papyrus.
Sort of. Less energetic in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, papyrus is basically top energy at all times.
Yeah.
But why do you have just a piece of fried chicken on you? Why wouldn't you?
I mean,
If you know that there's a chance that one of your professors could be the talking dog that everyone knows their reputation of, why would you not carry a variety of dog treats on your person?
that's just it. You be prepared.
Hey, Lorelai, there's still a seat here.
It seems like no one has claimed this seat next to me, if you're interested.
And I like how my Colonel Sanders is just fucking McCree.
I guess. 2 good options, but which will you choose? Well, here's the thing. I already have my best friend's favor. I already spent some time buttering her up before we got here. But Colonel Sanders is going to obviously be the networking choice for when I get out into the real world and want to run my own business.
I mean,
There's a very good chance that even if I don't end up working with him directly, that he can help hook me up with some sort of restaurant deal somewhere along the lines. He gives me the impression of someone who's well connected.
I would imagine.
It's unhygienic.
It's not raw chicken, Dork Princess.
Anyway, sit by Colonel Sanders. You move to take your seat by Colonel Sanders. It appears he brought no books, pens, or pencils. However, his perfect upright posture shows off a seriousness that makes you confident in his desire to learn. Thanks for offering me this seat.
I've only had 2 rules. Do all you can, and do it the best you can. It's the only way you ever get that feeling of accomplishing something.
So can I not save?
Apparently not.
Huh. I guess there's only autosave.
Maybe.
Whatever, sorry. This
No
is a
worries.
game where we have a dog for a professor and Colonel Sanders as the beloved Bishonen
So,
romantic interest.
at this point, you're typical anime.
Your concern in the real world about having fried chicken on your person being hygienic is actually well founded. However, in this universe,
I like how the logic here is like, this game makes no sense. Watches the first new episode of My Hero Academia.
Anyway, if it is an official KFC game, I think it
Yep.
was made by someone else, but it was endorsed by KFC.
Yeah.
That's so inspiring. A little off topic if you ask me, but okay. As soon as you've settled into your seat, the professor makes an announcement.
Think fast. It's time for a pop quiz.
We haven't even learned anything yet.
Shut up.
Yay! A quiz about me!
This incredibly important and surprisingly short quiz will tell me if you are ready for life at culinary school. Keep your knives sharp and your focus sharper. Here comes question 1.
Okay, I read knives as kinks, and I was just like,
That too.
I mean, I guess you want to keep those sharp.
I mean,
but-
I'm a dog and Colonel Sanders is sitting next to you. I think this speaks volumes.
Anyway.
If train A is traveling to point B and train B is traveling to point A, how important is it to wash your hands before cooking?
Extremely. I'm looking at you, Pop. That's right.
Forest is to tree as chicken is to...
Feather. I
Yeah,
would
probably.
think. That's right.
What is the most efficient eating utensil ever created?
A spork.
I mean, they did make a point of mentioning it.
When?
Like braise your sporks.
Oh, okay. But yeah, spork is most efficient because you have it both for being able to spear food that you need to eat, as well as if you have soup.
Also, it's very popular among fast food chains, so.
Yeah. That's right!
What food is best for a broken heart?
Well, anything, as long as it's prepared with love and not too much salt. I think.
Yeah.
That's right!
Is Sprinkles a good boy?
He's a talking dog that teaches at culinary school. He is the best boy! That's right!
I mean.
Of course it's right. Your total score is perfect score! 5 out of 5!
Surprising no one.
I mean, I am a very good student.
Oh, yes.
Wow, be honest. Did you cheat? You look up to see that Colonel Sanders has been watching you tally your score. He's impressed.
I know we just met, but I have to confess. I think you have a beautiful brain. I know.
Hot diggity, Lorelei! You just scored some major Colonel Sanders points with that performance. I mean...
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard. May I have your attention, students? I have an important announcement to make because that's basically all I'm good for.
Hi, Crackbox Jr. Yes, I am streaming. Thankfully, we were able to get this setup going, but
Yes.
for those of you who may be coming in later, I am presently in Portland with Cybernetic Pink Eye, aka Griffin.
That's right.
So he can actually read things on screen with me at the same time because I don't have to worry about screen share.
It's a bit of a benefit.
I can also punch him if I need to.
And I can file a suit.
I'm glad you're not talking about retaliating.
Well, no, because as you said, you're basically made of glass.
Effectively. The worst part is he's actually charming. What, who? Colonel Sanders or...
I think they refer to the abusive dynamic.
I noticed you lean away from me as you do that.
Oh, I fucking wonder why.
I wonder why.
That too.
Hi, Shakarian.
Yes.
Okay,
Time for lunch!
that is an important announcement,
I mean,
especially for Chicago. Wow, the cafeteria is as nice as any restaurant you've ever eaten at. It makes sense that a school dedicated to cooking would also be serious about eating. What is this Sims music?
I mean,
1 billion pounds donation incoming.
the funny thing is, like, I still think I prefer the vibe from Voodoo Donuts to this.
You're not wrong.
Because we were even mentioning when we were there that, like, well, you mentioned, I should specify, that with a lot of cafes, you get this sort of stuck-up, you know, like, snobby feel from it, whereas Voodoo Donuts, they give no shits. They know who and what they are, and they are proud of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't take credit for someone else's remarks, like
Yeah.
a certain someone that we both know.
Yeah.
But anyway. A delicious fragrance wafts through the room and tickles the end of your nose. Just the end of it. when you're smelling it, it shouldn't be tickling the end of your nose. It should be inside your nose.
If so, you might need to do a bit of plucking.
Yeah, your mouth waters. Oh hey Tucker.
Hey.
Well, we're doing pretty good today.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to be right here with my bestie and I get to hug.
Oh. Can you stop hurting yourself every time you make physical contact with me? So, to give a little insight, Lorelei leaned in for a hug and inadvertently banged one end of her headphones on my shoulder.
I'm okay.
Are you, though?
I mean, yeah.
Don't worry, we'll make it better with donuts later.
You flinched.
Well, yes, I wonder why.
Don't you bite at me! Don't you bite at me!
Let us not forget you were a guest here.
Anyway, and physical pain happens when she tries to hug you. Well, no, but I was the one who got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you smell that? That must be our lunch. It smells crazy good.
Everyone, can I have your attention?
Is it about lunch?
No, I just wanted to apologize for my tardiness. You see, I was...
See, the problem here... Oh,
Jesus,
wow!
Crack Fox, thank you.
Thank you!
And so it begins.
So Crack Fox has donated 30 pounds and has said, well, not quite 1 billion, but close enough. Yeah, honestly, that's pretty significant, especially considering that the pound is worth way more than the dollar.
Yeah.
But, thank you, genuinely very much.
Yeah.
You can retire on this, I'm sure. I mean, honestly, at this point, I suppose I technically live a quote-unquote retired life. But, I mean, it's mostly because I literally can't work your traditional labor job, but anyway. But I was gonna say, I love that this guy is actually a reasonable person, but the universe that he lives in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's well, and also I will say that if you linger too long on apologizing for something, and if you try to make everything about you, you're just gonna make the people around you kind of... Try not to make it all about you all the time. Just saying.
Good rule of thumb.
Howdy, folks. I'd like to make an announcement. Hey, It's about lunch.
Did you make it? Everyone cheers.
But I...
Shh! Lunch!
She said shh.
In honor of the new semester, I have prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch.
That must be the smell I smelled!
Indeed, that smell...
Is my armpit. Okay, no.
Sure, let's go with that.
You hold your breath, waiting to see what food this mysterious student has created. You've heard that he's very talented, but were the rumors true? Student's gonna be the villain of this game.
I mean...
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my god, it's Data Sanders!
Is this... Zip!
Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. Piled high are huge pieces of chicken, breaded and fried to a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops you, and you begin to feel warm and safe. Nobody leaves until Laura has received enough donation money to buy a mansion and retire. I mean, if I got enough money to do that, I'd probably just donate a good chunk of it.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I would take a small mansion, just so I can move all of my friends out of, like, their precarious living situations and just have them live someplace safely. But, you know.
I can think of a few people, yeah.
Yeah. Like myself.
Yeah.
Anyway. Warm and safe with chicken. Sure. Depends on how it's prepared.
I mean...
Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket with chicken? What a novel concept. Your stomach begins to grumble as if to say stop thinking and start eating!
For years, I have been developing a secret recipe for the perfect fried chicken. By my calculations, nothing less than 11 herbs and spices are required to achieve the perfect balance of flavors.
Did I just begin her stream? Kind of. I've been going for about an hour now, though.
Yeah.
But there's been enough shenanigans in person to have drawn this out. I told you we're not going to finish this in a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
You look around and notice that every other student has a pen and paper and is scribbling notes as fast as they can.
But that's all I'll say about that. What? You think we want your stupid secret recipe, dude? Sure! Nah, my dude, no! I'm just, drafting a last will and testament in case one of those ingredients is poison. Got him?
He looks around nervously to see if anyone else is laughing at his sick burn. You wait to see what Zinger Ashley has prepared to follow up, but she suddenly takes a different approach. Yeah, and I was just like writing in my diary. Dear diary, today I smelled something beautiful. I knew at that moment that only the hands of a true gentleman could fry chicken so tender. You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She realizes he is destined for greatness and fame with cooking skills like this. She wants him all to herself.
Also, I just realized, the rival's outfit, I think that's pretty much the employee uniform for KFC.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Minus the boob window.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, they do prepare a good breast out that way.
Well, I mean, and as she was so eager to say, thighs.
Yeah. I'm new to the channel, and you already left me very sweet.
Yes.
Glad to see you guys. I'm glad to see you guys trickling in today. This is kind of a bit of an exception because, again, I am out of town from my regular streaming, but this setup is adequate. Was a McDonald's uniform?
It might be, actually.
I don't know. I mean, not nowadays, but classic uniforms, and
yeah.
I don't even know. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, please. Well, Van the Man, if you don't want any.
I'll take his.
Well, hold on. I mean, I guess I'll try.
He takes one bite and his eyes grow wide. He starts contorting his face as he tries to hold in his pure exhilaration and act unimpressed.
Why are you laughing? I'm going into anaphylactic shock. Easy now, there's enough for everyone. Please, my fellow classmates, dig in.
You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of this bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing. Tasting Colonel Sanders' food transports you to another dimension. Alone with your taste buds gripping a drumstick in your hand, you float weightlessly. Focus your mind and meditate on this moment. Try and identify every flavor. Savor the moment and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' current culinary heart, or swim towards the light. Well, if I want to be an independent,
an independent restaurant mogul who don't need no man.
The thing is, focus your mind and meditate on this moment. Try and identify every flavor. But the thing is that the thing that goes into any meal as you prepare it is the heart of it. What is behind you. So, I don't want to necessarily be, on the romantic side, per se. But understanding the heart that goes into the meal that you prepare can make all of the difference. I know that, the final ingredient is love, but that's just it. If you care about what you're doing and what you're making, you're more likely to make something that you and other people will enjoy.
Right.
I think back to when we were making those, what are the things that we made for Thanksgiving?
The pierogies.
The pierogies that we were making last year. And they were fun to make. We had a good time actually making them.
Yes.
And they probably were not perfect pierogies.
Oh yeah, but they were delicious. And shout out to Smieska for the recipe.
Absolutely. So I'm going to say everything that it tells you, savor the moment, and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' culinary heart. Because that is what you really want to internalize about. And that's what everyone who makes food wants you to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Not the ingredients, but their intent. That is the point of cooking for other people. Man, I can really go for some chicken tenders. You know, I probably could too. But I'm not particularly hungry at the moment.
Yeah.
Sanders is a class like that. Well, I mean, there's also a child and a dog.
Yeah.
But anyway. The flavors in your mouth are beautiful, pure, heavenly. What a guy. Alone with the flavors, you feel something that can only be described as love. For a man? For a flavor? Are they the same? Am I going to start licking Colonel Sanders?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Just let me hit you.
For a second, I just thought that you were going to say, just take your licks.
I should have said that, if I were smart. After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. Eating spaghetti because I'm poor. Well, you know what? Spaghetti is actually an excellent and very filling option.
Absolutely.
Inexpensive, good, easy to prepare. Doesn't take much Doesn't take much time to actually prepare.
Oh, yeah. And thankfully, and for the time being, Lorelei are in a city that has no shortage of good and occasionally relatively cheap food.
Unless they actually, don't listen when you say, does this have onions in it?
Yeah.
That's an adventure.
Yeah.
Anyway, you approach Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he is doing and allows you to break the silence. Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second.
Anything for a fellow chef.
What exactly was on that chicken?
How bold to come out and ask. It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me my fortune and establish my legacy for all time as I open a chain of highly successful fried chicken restaurants. No big deal.
It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I've got some of my own that I'd be willing to trade. You see, you don't want to apply that kind of thing out of someone, especially when you've only just met them.
Especially when he might very well just give you the cane.
What's the rush? The semester is only getting started. We've got 2 more whole days to get to know each other.
That's fair. He's clearly not going to give it up easily, but it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You know what they say about secrets, Colonel. Shouldn't learning be fun?
Oh, you've got moxie, I'll give you that.
Colonel Sanders looks both ways to make sure you're truly alone and then leans in. You can feel his warm breath as he whispers.
Just one ingredient, but you can't tell. I use... It's something my great-grandmother taught me.
Wow! You'd never have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some if you searched. While you're wrapped up in that huge revelation, you notice that Colonel Sanders has disappeared. While everyone else is still in the cafeteria, you decide to look for him. You find Colonel Sanders outside, standing in the quad.
Oh, it's you again. Howdy. Sometimes I like to come outside and look at the school buildings. I think about how my story will continue on after I've graduated.
It sounds like you have big plans.
I dare say the biggest. I will leave my mark on this world. You can bet on that.
Colonel Sanders before his chain of... I think that's kind of the implication.
Yeah.
Tuna pasta plus hot sauce is a way to eat like a king. You know what? You're not wrong. I mean, I can't do that personally because I can't do seafood.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean, tuna is kind of an exception depending on how it's prepared.
I generally prefer whitefish anyway, but I'd try it.
I wouldn't know where to find redacted shit either. Well, maybe SCP, the SCP Foundation. That's
Or
a good place to find a lot of redacted.
Or Undertale if you look deep enough in the code. Anyway.
Alone together for the first time, you figure now is the perfect moment to show your personality to him. Neg him to show your own strength. Wow him with a big idea to add an additional ingredient to really spice things up. Be modest but thoughtful.
That seems like a...
Because if you're like, here, I'm going to mess with your recipe, that's just saying you don't have the perfect combination of 11 herbs and spices, and you were ignoring what he even said earlier.
I'm sure
it's
that'll
exactly
go over
11.
swimmingly.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna be modest but thoughtful. Well, I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed your food. Now you got his attention. The flavors were complex but comforting. The interplay between salty, savory, and peppery, it was perfect.
I appreciate the compliment, Lorelai.
I love that that's all caps, so it's like...
I appreciate the compliment. Lorelai!
Like he suddenly realized she was standing on his foot.
Oh, was he? Was he pretending to be me to tell everyone about the stream? What a strange thing. You know, I think I saw that post. He did a really good impersonation of me.
I have my moments, yes. I mean, I am an actor.
Griffin Jesus.
You know what? That works out. So, for those who came in late,
I was nicknamed Christ by my boarding pass, and
yes.
so... Anyway, Griffin Jesus, Lorelai Christ.
Oh, God.
Anyway. I'm okay.
Yeah,
Hang on.
Get yourself some, like, fucking 25 ingredients there. Or how many the fuck are in Dr. Pepper? 23 ingredients? I have to forget what the fuck they advertise it as.
Who the fuck cares? We're not getting endorsed by Dr. Pepper or KFC.
I mean, not yet.
KFC, if you would like to endorse my channel, you can get me on my professional email, which I can actually send to you in person.
So long as you don't pick up any of Chick-fil-A's bullshit.
Yeah, none of that bullshit, please.
I mean, we say that, but look at the mascot of KFC.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's got its own problematic nature.
I'm sure you'll be a big success.
I know we've only met today, but I'm starting to get the same feeling about you. We should head back inside. The next lesson starts soon.
You step into the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place.
This is literally Iron Chef.
Each student gets an oven and all the tools and ingredients they could need. Are we gonna get the spreader bar?
I mean,
Look at this place! It's magnificent! Finally, we get to show our stuff! Wait a second. Oh no! We have to show our stuff! What if I totally blow it?
You're not going to blow anything, except maybe kisses to the crowd of fans you're going to earn with your signature, adorable tiny food creations.
Welcome, students, to the cooking arena. For today's lesson, we'll be cooking with partners. Hurry up and pair off.
Can I just say that I love corgis?
I mean, yeah.
They're corgis. They're so good and pure.
Of course, they're also the dog equivalent of munchkin cats, which is unfortunate given the slew of health problems they have.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate thing.
But corgi!
And with that, we've demonstrated the distinct differences between Lorelai and I.
I think we've demonstrated that prior to this.
True.
And never mind that there's the exaggerated version of this dynamic eventually happening in the Ballad of Lorelai,
You're not wrong.
which I am excited to be bringing to my new YouTube channel, which will be launching as soon as I actually finish this vacation.
The sad thing is, the exaggeration isn't even to that much of a degree.
Honestly, a lot of the stuff that we have planned in terms of character dynamics have literally been born from conversations we've had in real life.
I can't tell you how many fucking sticky notes I have on my screen.
Hundreds.
Just jotting down shit that's happened in real life that we plan to implement at some point or another.
Yeah. Anyway. Naturally, Miriam looks over at you, but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders.
Getting a little ahead of yourself, don't you think?
Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? A team of two, that is. Me and you, if that wasn't clear.
And look at Miriam.
Want to be my partner?
Oh.
Well, sure, Lorelai. I'm sorry. Sure, Lorelai! I'll prepare our station.
Without you as a partner, Miriam is left standing all alone. Two different students quickly take notice.
Gee, I wonder.
Okay.
I mean, subverted expectations.
So I'm guessing that then that other student ends up getting paired with the two antagonists?
Maybe.
Probably. Anyway.
Hello, new partner. Oh my! Two potential partners? I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but I don't know who to choose.
It looks like you'll have to pick for her. Friend duties can be a little awkward, but that's the price you pay for not being alone forever. Who do you want to ask to be Miriam's partner? Why is it my decision?
Because plot.
Well, Pop doesn't like cleaning his hands, so I'm gonna go with Clank.
I mean, I would imagine a compressor would probably be a good partner for someone who wants to make tiny food.
Exactly. Sorry, Pop, but I think Miriam will be partnering with Clank today.
It's okay, I already ate.
Not entirely clear if Pop has any idea what the point of school even is at this juncture. Clank is clearly excited to have some attention. He heats up and begins to roll back and forth. That is something.
Yep.
Hi, Dawn.
Hey!
Welcome. You didn't miss much, just the first, part of this game.
It's Donna Papaya. Help, Dawn. She's assaulting me.
Keep your arm still so that I can hurt you properly.
Well, there you go. Do I even need to say anything?
Donna Papaya.
Hold on there, fella. We don't even know the assignment yet.
technically Clank might not have a face, but there's something charming and earnest about him. Isn't that great of a person? Hey! Also, thank you for subscribing!
Tissue? I hardly know you.
Clank judders and a panel shakes loose. You get the impression that this is a sign of affection.
Cover your shame.
It looks like you two will be fine. Now it's time to focus on your own cooking classwork. Let me hurt you properly.
I mean...
That came out wrong.
All right, you two, for today's lesson, we're going to keep it simple. Pick a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes 2 flints to make a fire. You get the idea.
Not really.
Shut up, I'm talking.
You only need 1 and a bit of some kind of tinder.
What did I just fucking say?
Well, you can actually learn how to cook properly without being a bitch.
I'm holding a spatula in my mouth. I clearly know what I'm doing.
Clearly. And you missed my pun.
Mm-hmm.
You're so smart. You're such a smart dog, huh?
I'm in character, biatch!
Don't talk about your mother that way.
All right, I should see her more often.
That's true. Sounds like it's gonna make you hungry. I mean, I wish Colonel Sanders would hurt me properly. I mean,
to each their own.
Which dish do you suggest to your partner, Colonel Sanders? Steak tartare seems easy enough. It's fancy and you don't even need to cook it. Using octopus will blow Colonel Sanders' mind, but let's go with the obvious answer.
Yeah, I think
Your grandmother's mashed potatoes and gravy, because first of all, that is an ingredient that you find in KFC.
Yeah, this is clearly an origin story.
And also, I'm also going to say, given that the emphasis so far has been on putting love into your food.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like, I may come from the West Coast, but I definitely understand good, old-fashioned comfort food.
Honestly. And of course, mashed potatoes and gravy is just fucking great.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Anyway. I've always been something of a down-home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, comforting. Maybe mashed potatoes.
And gravy?
I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a coy look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go get the potatoes.
No, please, let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine.
Hey, alliteration.
I mean...
That's your thing. A doot. Okay. Well, thank you for joining in even for a little bit, Chris.
Yes, have a good one.
I hope you have a wonderful evening, and thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? We're just cooking partners. Mind your own business. Sanders' heart is my business, and you'd better keep your fingers off my man.
Did someone call for me? I mean, it is perfect JoJo music.
I was gonna say... no, jeez, Van. Well, I'm over here crushing Lorelai's dreams. You're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That was the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full. This is such a bizarre music to be playing over Colonel Sanders walking up.
No shit, bizarre music in a bizarre game. Who would have figured?
He tosses them into the boiling water and turns his attention to you and your old friends.
Oh, howdy there. Ashley, Van. Are we working in a quartet instead of a duet now?
No.
Actually, no. It looks like Lorelai was struggling, so we offered to give them a hand. I actually love that they make gender neutral.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know how it is. These young amateur chefs need a lot of mentoring.
I was going to say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could also teach you a thing or two about fancy food. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Doubt it.
Don't be rude, Van. Personally, I have no doubts whatsoever about Colonel Sanders' ability to concoct creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular.
Fucking wink.
But Colonel, if you ask me, I might make a better partner for you than this thing that has positioned itself at your station. Don't you feel deep down that we cast complementary shadows? We fit together like a thigh and a drumstick. It just makes sense. Nothing about this makes any sense, but one thing is clear. She's coming for Colonel if you don't watch out. Ashley is really going at you hard. You need to ask for some backup here before things get ugly. Huh. I mean, the thing is that at this point we've already impressed Colonel Sanders quite a bit.
True.
So he would probably actually recognize, especially given the answers that we've given. We gave the answers correctly in the pop quiz.
Yeah,
I would think that he would have our back.
I would imagine so.
Hunk of hunks in your time of need. I'm here to learn and to express myself via my cuisine, not bicker with prima donnas. Partners were chosen at the beginning of class, so let's all respect the format, okay? You turn to Colonel Sanders to confirm that you're on the same page. I choose Colonel Sanders, and Colonel Sanders chose me, isn't that right?
A businessman respects all fair arrangements or agreements, depending on whether or not I can actually see with these fucking glasses. From contracts to handshakes, I took on Lorelai as my partner for this activity, and I stand by it with the power of my stand, 11 herbs and spices. Based on your team's behavior, I'd say you're perfect for one another, or each other. Again, not entirely certain if I can read or not. Neither of you has Lorelai's natural talent or their loyalty. I can read just fine without my actual glasses, thank you, actual Lorelai.
She was actually picking up my glasses and offering them to me while I read.
I love this music as the background to this conversation. Being defended by Colonel Sanders leaves you feeling proud and full of potential.
It fills you with determination.
You look for Sprinkles in hopes that he might step in. He's nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. I'm worried that the others have cooked him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be terrible. You look down at your station and realize that in the tension of the moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed the boiled potatoes into a perfectly creamy mashed texture, with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your natural passion guided you through the steps you know so well while your attention was elsewhere. He turns into a rooster every time he says
That's his stand.
yes? The Lorelai thing scares me every time.
I'm sorry.
I know just what to do.
Colonel Sanders extends his hand. He's holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat, out of which pours a smooth brown gravy, smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Colonel, that's very forward of you to offer your gravy.
Massacre. Bakana.
Did you just say Japanese with
A southern accent.
a
yes.
southern accent?
I did it earlier too.
I hate you.
I know.
Gravy. Wow, that was a weird flicker. Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The results look spectacular. Granny would be very proud. I don't understand this game. Is a dating sim on the background of mashed potatoes? Yes.
Yes, pretty much.
If you knew anything about KFC, this is basically just...
A love letter to it.
It's a love letter to KFC. Colonel Sanders holds a spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all of the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric.
Ah, damn fucking stack electricity.
Time stands still.
If you love something, set it free.
I don't know if it's officially made or licensed by KFC, but I believe that they endorsed it.
Right.
Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift a heaping sporkful up, and you see Ashley with a sinister look. You know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. Japanese with a southern accent is like trying to localize a Kansai dialect while also being a massive weeaboo who leaves the original dialogue.
We were just talking about this the other day.
I need an adult!
Yeah.
He is an adult. I love that she's blinking while also winking.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
On one foot in heels.
Yeah.
And those look like stilettos.
I mean, not stilettos precisely, but definitely...
Or at least platforms.
Pretty significant height on those, probably at least 6 inches.
Yeah.
And then, filled with rage, and without thinking, you fling the sporkful of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face!
Van Van! Do something! Do something!
Scooping up a fingerful, Van Van tastes the dripping mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes it's delicious! Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Will he ever be able to cook something with so much love and integrity?
I like how I've pretty much turned Van Van into James from Pokemon.
You're not even wrong!
Hold on right there, Lorelai. We do not waste food in the boom cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you'd both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands.
If the rooster is his stand, does that mean that he's gonna cook his stand? I mean,
Maybe the rooster is a phoenix.
let's not. Let us not. He has been taking me on a tour of the kaiju, and let's not. What's wrong with this game?
Let me count the ways.
Can I have potatoes face?
Van Van rushes back over, a covered dish in his hand. I think he literally is supposed to be a JoJo reference.
Yeah, that's it. Just it. He is literally. I mean, look down to the Joseph Joestar reference with his hair.
I mean,
look at this. This is literally just a fucking Food Wars episode. Mashed potatoes with gravy, pathetic. In just a few minutes, I've prepared a full meal. Gaze upon my specialty. Praise tentacle of Optimus. My silky saltwater sauce. Rated on a battle axe forged from my supreme chef ancestors. I try it.
well, not if it were only cooked in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
That's seafood.
Yeah.
You really want to make sure that it's thoroughly cooked.
Oh, yeah.
It looks good, but if it's been only a matter of minutes...
You've ignored me for too long. This ends now. It is I who will have the first bite, and you will all look on with envy.
The interrupting student rushes at Van Van and swipes a bite of his signature dish right off the plate. Axe.
No, don't! Something about this dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think the octopus was rushed and may have turned it in the process. The result could be toxic.
What did I tell you? What did I just say?
Yeah.
It was only cooked in a matter of minutes, then that was not enough time to actually cook it. You gotta be careful with seafood.
Yeah.
Too late. It has been eaten.
I think I left something in the oven. I don't feel so good.
It killed!
Nabstablook Origins. She's getting up! She's walking away! There's the door! Oh well, my stream now. So anyway, come back next time for Cybernetic Pink Eye's weekly stream.
You?
You have no one to blame but yourself for this. I can imagine it does smell rather good at this point.
Oh my god! Its stream is not over just yet. Hi, Brian. It killed him!
Everyone step back. Don't take another bite.
When you look back at the plate, the rest of it is gone. You notice the tip of the tentacle being slurped into Pop's mouth. I guess he's dead. Pop winces in pain for just a moment, then is almost immediately back to his oblivious self.
Oopsie.
Is Pop just Ralph Wiggum?
Tastes like poison. I'm in trouble.
I'm in danger!
I'm in danger.
The entire class has gathered to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd. They are as motionless as statues. The class bell rings, disrupting the moment and snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite obvious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kinds. You know, fair.
I mean, Ralph Wiggum is immortal.
I'm not sure the professors here make enough money.
Meanwhile, he's just dead.
Yeah. Try my new mixtape. Hello? I just turned into a ghost over here.
Seeing that you're shaken up by that really annoying student and all his nonsense, Colonel Sanders approaches you.
I'm sorry I had to go through that. Please, let me walk you home. What? Like for real? Come on.
You follow Colonel Sanders out of the room. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. I had indigestion!
So did he.
Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neon glow and speaks softly.
Those mashed potatoes you made in class today.
Before you go on, I want you to know, they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them.
They were amazing. Tasting them reminded me why I became so passionate about food to begin with.
Griffin now faces direct consequences for his bad jokes, and this is so funny.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking hilarious, Don. Yeah, the ever-growing bruise on my arm sympathizes so much. And apparently, so does my immune system.
Does baby need a burping?
I don't know. Can you hug me without hurting yourself? So she raised her other hand and I instinctively withdrew.
He flinched like a bitch.
Oh my god, he fucking dead.
Colonel Sanders is getting choked up.
You better stop! Fuck this game. Oh, God. I think this is better off left to the imagination, Crackfox. I don't think there's any webcam needed.
Oh, thank goodness it's not the middle of the night right now.
Fuck.
Is getting choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way that you find inspiring.
Oh, my God.
Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders?
Yes. Lola!
That's never not gonna be funny. There's something I need to tell you.
Hold it right there. There's something I need to tell you first.
You killed a man today. Oh, jeez.
You see, when I was just a boy, I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef the world had ever seen. And every day since, I've been working towards that dream. Day and night, never stopping, never resting. Also lifting a lot of weights, like so many weights. We should follow our dreams with all of our hearts, that our souls may grant them like wishes floating on a shooting star, or in your case, a pompadour. Hey, no, shut up! I'm the one here to say inspirational stuff and be the star of the story.
Are we forgetting that you're cooking literal...
You need to stop. It's only gotten worse with us being in person.
I
It was even worse when we met up with Chi-Chi.
Are we forgetting that your cooking literally killed a guy?
You can't prove that.
There were cameras.
I also saw you kill that guy. What was his name?
Somewhere in the distance, you hear a long, sad sigh.
Forget him. We're talking about me. Me. I'm the hero. This is clearly Final Fantasy VIII. Or 10.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
You know, I'm gonna let you have this. I think I've had my fill of Hidekiano horrors for one day.
This work monster is here to fight a hero!
I think I left the fridge door open. Later, nerds! How dare you threaten me just as I was letting my guard down and connecting with another chef on an emotional level?
Be afraid! Be very afraid of me! Because I'm a monster! See? Is this the student? Okay. Is he's rhyming on purpose? Or is that just a coincidence? But before you can discuss syntax any further, it's a turn-based fight sequence! What will you do?
Look at this FF6
Final
battle
Fantasy
box.
VII, actually.
Yeah, I was tempted to say 7, but I don't know. It struck me as 6-ish. Oh, well. Defend, I imagine.
This game's character design, I don't think anyone can.
I can. It's clearly Evangelion influenced.
So I'm going to start with defend because one, that usually gives you a boost on your second attack, and
Yeah.
also just in general, it gives you a sense for how much power your enemy actually has, and then you can retaliate in a way that is appropriate.
Plus, from a narrative perspective, this thing is going after the hero, and if you defend the hero, he'll probably increase his feelings for you.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with defend. You decide to defend. Which defense will you choose? Well, I only have the one, trepidation. You close your eyes tight, but then open one just enough to squint and see the spork monster across the battlefield. For some reason, this makes you feel more prepared for what comes next.
There you go.
There I go. Spork monster goes on the attack. They spit hot gravy at you.
Was the sound effect necessary?
You take 1 damage. Fat lot of good that defense did. Alright, well, let's try attack. You decide to go on the attack. Cook with love.
Yeah. Seems to be a theme.
Cook with love does 1 damage. Spork monster won't forget this. Spork monster focus their mashed mind and draws in energy from Mother Earth itself. They grow larger and more intimidating. How will you respond?
Maybe well...
Actually, let's try attacking.
Alright.
You decide to go on the attack. What attack will you use? Oh, I can only cook with love now?
I guess so.
Okay. Cook with love does 1 damage. Spork monster is no quitter. Buffed up and ready to rumble, they go on the attack once again. Spork monster uses utilitensile. You take 2 damage from the attack. If you take much more damage, you're not going to survive the battle. Alright, sounds like we need to defend.
Yeah.
You decide to defend. Which defense will you use? Ooh,
I mean...
buff up? No one can control this much buffness. You start to feel bloated and, quite frankly, a little gassy. You better attack soon or you're likely to explode. You decide to go on the attack.
I guess...
I'm gonna chow down because
Yeah.
you got bigger. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, chow down. Chow down does 2 damage. A powerful blow. Spork monster is oozing cheese sauce onto the lawn of the quad. I wonder who is going to have to clean that up. Feeling vulnerable, Spork monster prepares for its ultimate attack, Rounded Edge.
Vile villain, your reign of terror stops here!
Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens. Okay, that is a sentence that I have said today. Is that a goat chicken?
I mean...
I know it's just a chicken, but just like...
yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. It got the little beard and everything. Pop, pop, power punch! Or pinch, I guess.
Pot Pie Power Pinch does 10 damage! Spork Monster is defeated. You saved me! An injured Spork Monster spews steam into the night. Huh. Well, again, you want to cook with love.
Yeah.
So, spare this wretched beast.
Might get it on your side.
You managed to tamp down on your disgust at the sight of this gnarly beast long enough to realize that he is still a living creature with a pure soul, who deserves your pity, not your wrath. Be gone, beast, and don't you dare come back for a follow-up encounter tomorrow. I won't. Oh wait, I won't forget this, and I certainly won't be back, like you said. The Spark Monster scuttles off into the night. The defeated monster left behind a special item. It appears at first to be a cookbook, but upon closer inspection, it's so much more. It's a book of magic spells with a golden chicken on the— What is this game?
You tell me, you chose it.
More flinching.
Uh-huh.
You open the cover and find a library card tucked inside. The last name to have signed out is Borko.
Another dog?
Or the same one. Remember, he only goes by Sprinkles.
True.
Borko. That name sounds strangely familiar.
Your blood is pumping as you stand in the quiet of the night, holding the mysterious book in your hands. As you come down from your battle buzz, you realize that your final attack has left you completely depleted. The world around you begins to fade away. Without any energy to keep your eyes open, darkness overtakes you. The student is Borko, calling it now. Maybe.
Maybe.
Is that question just the question of the stream? To get the suck from the Colonel? I actually have no idea. I guess. The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. In your tired state, you don't know if you could have made it without him. What a guy. You want to thank him, but you don't have the strength to utter a single word. You feel your covers being pulled up over you as you're tucked in tightly.
As the pillow is pressed against your windpipe.
He's choked up over this emotion.
This is what you get for choking the chicken.
It's a good thing you washed that knife earlier, because that way we won't contaminate you when I stab you in the chest! I love that I hit you and the laugh got worse. It's Chicken Christ.
Well, again, yeah, look, that is definitely something out of fucking Evangelion, right?
Kind of?
Yeah. That's like some Third Impact shit right there.
Good night, my Colonel. In your dream, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love. Dreams are weird.
Yeah, so are video games. Case in point.
What just happened?
The intro sequence.
I feel like I just dissociated for a second.
Yeah.
You have weird taste, Lore, for choosing a game like this, no pun intended. During that silence, I was genuinely worried for Griffin's safety. I mean, apparently it's worth playing.
Apparently.
It's something, alright. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories? Or premonitions? So that was just day 1.
Yeah.
We've been fucking around a lot today.
Yeah.
And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. So there's really no opportunity for me to save here, huh? Oh, anyway, maybe
in the settings.
Well, I don't. Is it? Yeah, this game is completely free.
Yeah.
Premonition's not a bad thing. It just means that you have an early, you have an
Early
early
insight.
impression.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own.
Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, I think I might like Clank!
Like him? Like?
I know it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him! I like him! We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy! Not only that, but he's really smart! He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders!
I mean, better that than a literal child.
Yeah?
Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school?
No, but that does make complete sense.
Yeah, but he was so popular that he was voted prom king at a school he didn't even go to, and was also the convertible. What? Was also the convertible that he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade.
So he's a transformer and is also into vor?
I'm thinking that maybe something got lost in pressure cooker language translation there. I mean... Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel... Slow?
Is that what we're calling it?
With Colonel Sanders. Every 60 seconds, Laura punches Griffin in an average of 12 times. With your help, we can stop this. Donate to the stream, and all proceeds will go to funding innocent Griffins.
In
Fine.
the arms of the angel.
Fly away from here. I'm not answering that question.
Nor I. The internet is your teacher on this one. Go nuts and good luck, child.
You and Colonel Sanders? The coolest guy in school? The most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now?
We definitely connected yesterday.
Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess?
Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell... Oh, no, you don't tell people about this.
Uh-huh.
He told you that in confidence. Did you do a bad by mentioning it? Oh, anyway.
God.
Why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up.
A secret ingredient?
Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here?
Well, there wasn't here.
Yeah, there was. Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing.
So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man
Is this gonna be a Willy Wonka reference?
I don't know.
a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering.
This can't be good.
He told me all about his passion for spices. Secret spices! The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from a super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own.
Please, Miriam, don't tell me.
So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice. He even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted.
I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here.
Yeah.
Come with me, and you'll be high as
World
a...
of pure inebriation.
We're not invoking that show. High as a fucking kite.
Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we've stayed in touch. You know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices.
Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. And because I only know the one ingredient. So, besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone.
Please, please, please! It would mean the world to me! No one has to know it came from you or Colonel Sanders!
That's no. You don't give out someone else's secret recipe.
Yeah.
If he publishes that information, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But-
So I think the answer here is obvious.
Make up a fake ingredient.
Yeah.
That's a little mean, and it might cost us our friendship with her,
Well,
but
that's
like...
just it. I think it's a matter of her or him at this point.
And that's not... I mean, honestly, here's the thing. She's asking me to give up information that's not mine to give.
Yeah.
And this feels really super cunning, and I'm starting to suspect that the obvious enemy in Ashley and Van Van is covering up the enemy that might be in your bestie friend here.
Maybe.
And especially if she was given a drug, which was
Yeah.
the implication there, she might be on the take. Like, you get someone addicted to something and make them indebted to you, and
Well, I mean, that's fast food in a nutshell.
you're not even wrong. Anyway, make up a fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know, how about... It was... Really? It was Eye of Newt. I know, sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do?
Eye of Newt? Wow!
Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you satisfied her curiosity.
You know-
And she'll move on.
I was secretly hoping she would say MSG.
Please stop my suffering. Stop! Do not put that imagine in my head. I mean, lore does rhyme with vor, that is true.
I mean...
Anyway. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Yeah. She might just be innocent and misled, and that's always a possibility, but...
Yeah.
Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in, cherry blossom petals fill the air.
And I like how they're coming from the tree.
I know, I actually appreciate that detail.
Of course.
What? It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at the school. I mean, you don't want to run in front of a horse.
You really don't. Horses are easily spooked, and they will kill a bitch.
So as much as I think that it's important for me to join him, I feel like you don't want to go spook a horse.
Yeah.
So stand back and admire his majestic glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse stance before dismounting with a flourish. He then slaps the beautiful creature gently on its rear, sending it running free into the countryside.
Well, that's a dead horse.
You are so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Haven't I already?
I mean,
Does he have, like...
he's got smug... That's, like, the same look he had on when he was fighting the monster.
Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home.
You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have. I mean, what a horseful beaut you have. Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you.
Oh, not I! Just gets really nervous around people they like.
What? This is not helping.
I mean, they got food poisoning and were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it.
She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying.
Fucking expression on Colonel there.
And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. He's not going to follow up on that.
I mean.
Great, okay. When you enter the classroom, you see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad.
Uh-huh.
Counterfeiting.
Counterfeiting.
What the fuck is wrong with me today?
I mean,
Don't-
probably the same thing that's wrong with me.
Experimenting with restricted ingredients bad. Summoning a demon bad? You try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder. But he sees you coming.
Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this.
Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? You know what? I actually like that.
I mean,
I've never heard that one before. Huh. If I If I alert them, it feels like they're just gonna get away with doing something.
I mean, your call.
I think I'm going to act like I'm not interested, because to me, honestly, I would try to do what I can to get an eyeful without tripping up my enemies that I'm paying that much attention. Anyway, you sit near the rivals but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van mutter something that sounds a bit like so you dropped the book when you passed out.
Ah.
However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try and cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class, and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules?
I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you.
Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary schools. It takes creativity, it takes panache.
And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil.
You finally get a look at what it was they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it.
Yeah.
It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book that I found last night in the quad! Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. Jesus fucking Christ! Don't you passive aggressive. Get the fucking eyes away from me.
Careful.
Bitch! You're a passive aggressive little shit.
This is your go-to insult for everything.
Hides the book inside his back?
I mean, damn.
I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his... What the... Why? Why?
Hello, I'm Van Van. Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah, so for those of you who are talking in the chat, I do want to kind of step in. Can we step away from the vor thing, please?
Might be a good idea. It's actually a good thing you can't see the chat today.
I guess. They haven't been going too far, but let's just leave it where it is.
Yeah.
We're playing!
I don't know why. Shut up.
I didn't say anything!
Shut your face! See, now you don't have to say anything. Did you eat a lemon? Where's Jay?
That's for me to know that you... Oh, pardon me. He's my child now! Ironically, just as we told them to stop talking about... This is a weird stream.
Griffin is no longer my friend. He forfeits all right to be my friend.
Some bullshit happened, Dark Princess.
Dark?
Some bullshit. Oh, I said dork. I said dork.
Okay. That's racist.
How is... No, it's... If anything, it's... bestiality.
What?
Dork means whale penis.
Yes, it... This has been your moment of education with Lorelai's stream. Anyway.
It's an ongoing lesson in self-loathing and...
Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot.
Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts.
You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything.
You know...
My name is what?
My name is who? My name's...
Dork Princess.
Hey.
Anyway, that's racist. No, if anything, that's...
Yeah. You can only get classic moments like that at the Lorelai stream.
think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer.
No, your mother was a stand mixer.
Your mother was a stand. Oh no. That's smoke.
Well,
Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room.
Team Rocket's blasting off again!
Protect me, Colonel Sanders! These crazed men are about to come to blows! I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them! Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know this is a ruse, right? But he's probably going to defend her anyway because he's a good person and that's what good people do.
Yeah.
Even if someone is notably a terrible person, you still step in to save them.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena, at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on.
Yeah, it was rather intimidating.
No, Griffin, it's JoJo, not Poke. Well,
It's whatever I want it to be.
Maybe I can help you with your business plan.
Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog.
Begone, thought! Also, students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn.
Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it.
Do it and you lose an arm.
After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom.
Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken.
You want to pay attention to the lesson. Truly, you do.
Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. Sorry, I'm just so fucking hungry. I'm losing sight of everything.
Did they then commence to eat the chicken?
It was rather gruesome.
But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. You know what? That's not a good idea. Especially given that the reason why Colonel Sanders is even remotely interested in you is because of your dedication to the craft.
Yeah.
If you miss out on class.
Let's see.
I was making a joke, and honestly, quite frankly, my "that's racist" can come after things like, wow, she's got big eyebrows. That's racist.
I mean...
Or that dog has a very soft belly. That's racist.
Yes. Also, yes, there is a chicken head on the pedestal.
Yes. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you.
Well, Lorelei!
Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? I mean, a dog biscuit would be flattering to him, but I don't know. A shimmering pepper. Well, if it's shimmering, it's probably super spicy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to eat a dog biscuit. So I'm gonna guess a shimmering pepper?
Maybe? The only reason I'm hesitant is because, he gave him a chicken-flavored dog biscuit earlier.
Well, no, a piece of fried chicken.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna go with a shimmering pepper.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I mean, I can only guess.
Yeah.
A brightly colored pepper stands out from the other items. It sparkles in a most eye-catching way, so naturally reach out, grab it, and eat it right away. Well, she's dead.
Yeah.
However, your body is not prepared for the heat. The pepper has triggered an intense spice hallucination. It feels like forever as your trip through the universe.
My friend...
Fuck off, Napster Bluke.
Oh,
This guy again?
I'm here to give you an important message. Ooh, please just buy my mixtape. You must avenge my death and fulfill your destiny.
I mean, you chose to eat octopus that was prepared by Van Van,
Eat
so
me. All you must
I
do
can't.
is...
You're intangible.
I was saying, to fulfill your destiny, all you must do is...
Sorry, I think still got some spice stuck in my throat.
Are you fucking serious right now? It's fine, I'll work through. To fulfill... the prophecy. You must.
You feel yourself begin to regain consciousness.
Yeah.
Was that convincing spice choking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You'll be hearing more of that soon.
I know.
Oh, man.
You come to and find everyone is staring at you.
That pepper was the last of its kind on Earth, and now it's gone forever!
You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention.
We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Someday? Come on, it's time for lunch!
Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim. And your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement.
I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch-ass motherfucker.
Don't you bring that into this! Don't you bring that into this, or else I'm gonna piss on the moon! And with that, I have slain the griffin.
Today's lunch will be prepared.
Via timed competitive cook-off.
The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. I feel like stepping up to the challenge is actually a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them, you're on. A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it.
I'm not the fool. You're the fool. Fool? Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption. Lorelai!
Don't yell at me.
I'll be watching your performance.
Well, gee, that's not gonna give me anxiety. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness.
Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court.
Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. You
At least not until we turn on the timer.
Just then, a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, "Timer ready!"
That's what I'm talking about.
I stand corrected.
And I stand Sprinkles. Oh, this is so much more gratifying with you being here in person.
The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory.
Sure. Are you cupping the fast forward feature?
I mean,
Just
he
skip
is that
this entire
extra.
scene. I'm not gonna do that.
God,
Apparently they are applauding your howl.
I mean,
Colonel Sanders has yowie hands? No, those are still proportional.
maybe they seem a bit bigger than his head.
Yeah, but they're still proportional. Like, yowie hands are like you have fingers that extend as long as his torso.
I mean, that might be a bit of a stretch, but...
Yes, it is!
So basically that one girl from My Hero Academia.
We already covered that, yes.
I know.
Anyway.
Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself.
You had this chicken. You had his chicken and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one. But you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. That's right. What? What were you thinking, Lorelai? Get your head in the game.
I was speaking, thank you.
Whatever. I don't like this.
Well, yeah, you already said the line at this point.
Okay, well, you got so indignant. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea.
11.
Yeah, I know, but your mouse also skipped right there. That's right. You may not know all of the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Thank you for actually narrating it. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. My state of mind offers the most flavor. Vigilance? I would think.
I was gonna say trust.
I'm begging you to get it together. Get it? I'm a dog. It's never the wrong time for some dog jokes.
Yeah, that's really helpful, Crack Fox Jr. Like 5 minutes after I know.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but...
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy. That's right! This is your shot, and you're not going to miss it! Fuck off, Sprinkles. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking.
I imagine that's probably something.
What's the sound of success?
Sizzling. Oh,
Well, I'm boiling, so it would probably be bubbling.
fair.
Don't make me get the spray bottle.
Is this the end? Yep! Game over. I guess try again.
Yeah.
Am I starting over at the beginning?
If it does.
Because I didn't have any opportunities to save. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank God it has the fucking autosave. Oh, I was scared for a second. Griffin was a dog in his ancient.
Okay.
Alright, so... Yeah, Celsius.
Your mouse is still jumping, by the way.
Uh-huh.
That's right! But how would you even have gotten to this school without knowing that? Well,
I mean...
I'm not a cook.
Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you.
You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know... Okay, so we know this one.
Yeah.
It jumped again. That's right, you might not know all of the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. So, trust?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, fuck you.
I'm begging you, really begging you.
All the jokes moving right along. I think it might be running low on battery.
Yeah, that might be the problem here.
Well, I can plug it in. Oh, don't you love technical difficulties? One moment. Why did I say that in the dog voice?
Oh, one moment.
Oh, one moment, darling.
That's not even the dog voice. Alright. Okay, so next question. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster. Okay.
Yes.
Bubbling?
Probably.
Oh,
I guess
silence. I guess. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye.
I believe in you. La la.
He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders! How many spoonfuls of crazy? What were you thinking? Get your mind back into the competition! You are stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk! I know, right?
You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind!
What does that have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicate baked biscuits? You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into the stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps.
Ah! Yikes! I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in kitchen battle, and sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You might not have any hands, but Lorelai does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed.
There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way.
I feel like I'm being so judged by this game. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer
Well,
to rescue the dough before it's overmixed.
Lorelai, no!
well.
What?
I mean, we expected this to be weird.
I'm not reading that because fuck this game. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame.
Damn.
Wow!
What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult.
Everyone stop what you're doing right now! This battle is over!
I feel like I want to load and try again. I guess this is where we are?
I guess.
I'm gonna try that again to see if I don't break my fucking hand.
Alright, we'll give it one more shot.
I mean, I did still get quite a few...
Yeah.
Ah! I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Alright, it's not skipping this time, so there's at least that. I guess gratitude.
Yeah.
That's right, you must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. Okay.
Silence.
That's right. When they taste your cooking, they will be so taken with it that they'll be unable to speak. That
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense. Okay. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye.
I'm doing a thing!
He's actually cheering you on, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
Alright.
Again, I think it's inevitable at this point.
It might be. Ugh. What is that?
Yeah,
You're right.
this is sort of a pretty...
Next station over. Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that...
Guess we just need to fuck up our hand.
I guess that's just how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a crunch.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame.
We would never make such an error in my establishment.
Alright, so this battle is over, as I mentioned before.
It can't be! I was so close to finishing my dish!
Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on.
What if I borrow someone else's hands?
Don't look at me.
Aw, that's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default.
No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Lorelei's injury.
That's actually not true. She actually finished her plated dish. Like, just because I have an injury doesn't mean that she still wasn't also ahead of me, and she was already finished at the time that I was busy injuring myself.
Well, plot.
I know, but it's still stupid.
Yeah.
You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish.
But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared.
Is what just you? Blood, sweat, and tears in your work, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm the sweetest, let's get straight to dessert.
That's not good. Okay, that's good.
Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights.
She was cursed. That's what they were doing with the book.
Oh, I get it.
Because this seems like they were using the power of the magic to actually empower Ashley to get to this point. And the thing is, the fact that I was, like, so distracted by all of these visions of Colonel Sanders, that was obvious interference.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm thinking.
Yeah?
It couldn't just be because I'm incompetent.
Now I want to watch Great British Bake Off, god damn it.
Or even, what was it? Zumbo's Dessert?
Oh yeah, Zumbo's Desserts.
Zumbo's Desserts, but yeah.
Taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Lorelei to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand.
Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. However that's pronounced.
Yeah?
Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger in the chocolate sauce.
Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley?
And that's kind of true. Here's the thing. Simplicity is actually usually better in some ways. Elaborate cooking can be good for certain things.
Yeah.
But simplicity is often where you're able to work in a lot of magic.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm willing to believe the MC is actually that stupid.
Hey!
Big words coming from Dork Princess.
Oh, you.
As he places a sauce-covered finger into his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. You know, it's not really my business.
Yeah.
So,
Internalize
internalize the rage you feel. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. Okay. Well, now she's got injured eye. Now she's blind and can't use her hand.
Man.
The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off of your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester. Perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run to the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders! He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly.
Ashley and I are in love, and we've decided to get married.
Once again, we have the
I know you're hurting right now.
Hi, Sabrina, I guess.
Yes. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that running with the mixer, and that small fire. We should get that checked out.
I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef.
Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before?
Yeah, kind of, because you're the Mary Sue of this story.
It's Garrett Stew, thank you very much.
Gary Stu, Mary Sue, same exact fucking concept, which is
Semantics.
bullshit.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think.
Well then, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure, I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an
Obstetrician.
See, I couldn't even say the word. No wonder I failed at it. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the bad side of a mule.
You really do not. I lost my business partner to a gunfight.
I think this might be the actual Colonel Sanders
Backstory.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
People see my delicate ribbon tie and well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but hasn't always been.
Sounds like this guy could really use a hug.
Or another business partner. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give.
As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him. A burning passion.
Oh shit, now I'm on fire. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds.
Yay!
No one's asking you.
Proportionately, is this kid, like, actually this big?
I was thinking the same fucking thing.
Like, if that's the size of this kid...
It's like the equivalent of when Peter Dinklage played a giant in the Avengers. I mean, I would not be surprised if that were actually what fucking happened to him, Heartfelt Shadows.
Honestly.
Well, that's the story of anime, Don.
How is this game so pretty looking and yet I can't take it, you know what, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the Spork monster. Borko? It is I. I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you really don't want to see me anymore, but... I just wanted to say I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right?
I mean...
Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. Well, actually, I started by defending.
Exactly.
I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see.
Dork Princess, no, don't make me like him.
I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no, I was a golden retriever. But I was still a student, until one day some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. Magic spellbook. Precisely! I procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be here. There, ever were.
Good boy.
It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. No lie! Together, I'm sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway, and we can discuss.
I'd be happy to come back to your hideaway.
We'll also arrive there first.
A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside. Heck, you.
Just also the random stuffed chicken.
Or maybe it's a real chicken that just had some...
It's on a pedestal.
Stepping inside of Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an interesting life, Colonel Sanders.
Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef.
Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close.
It's gonna be coleslaw, isn't it?
Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now that you got him right where you want him, should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it as... Well, he already told us his secret.
Yeah.
So? Yeah. And we said we'd be happy to reveal our own secrets.
Yeah.
You decide that you're ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. You know, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw.
I called it.
The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway?
Lush, maybe.
Well, that's not how you spell lush, though.
Oh.
But I guess Lux?
I deluxe, yeah.
I guess.
Magnificent.
Together, you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl.
Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment.
Well, he's not psychic. It's just they've already covered a good chunk of the existing meals that you can get at KFC.
It's almost as though we're not only, genre savvy, but also know that fast food things exist.
Yeah, and coleslaw is a very common thing in Southern-styled restaurants.
Yeah.
You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not?
Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. Without the apron.
You realize now would be a perfect time to do some snooping. No!
It would not.
Around the room are various items you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. I mean...
Gee, I'm sure nothing bad could happen from tapping the clearly ash-filled urn.
An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of a company they founded, am I right?
I'm in.
Tap an item to find out more about the Colonel. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. I mean...
I guess this is him reincarnated?
Maybe? You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is.
Maybe the co-founder of the restaurant.
Possibly.
Well,
That door is opened.
Yeah. Maybe that means he's coming back.
This must be where he keeps his secret recipe.
Uh-oh.
You think for a moment. What number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 11, 11, 11, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? No? Because isn't sashimi raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. No, it can't be. Tap on a... Yeah, no. You take a closer look at the large urn sitting on the nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell.
Is it gravy?
Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating on a lake? Summer of '69? No. It's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... Okay. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb.
I didn't know Steve Martin was around here.
Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color, it's actually made of spun silver. Tap on an item. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and the mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of student comes up.
Are you thinking of heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death?
No. Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you?
I could just tell you my name right now.
Can't you say I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and let the ghost of students be swept out with a breeze.
I will fuck you too.
You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on the corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state of bird with the great the true state bird of the great state of Kentucky."
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we have to discover, so... You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off of its hanger and try it on.
Why?
The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on. He wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket.
I usually don't loan these out, but I must say, it does look good on you.
Oh crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off. You know what, just tell the truth. You tried it on because you were curious about it.
Yeah.
You confess. Oh. Well, that too. That also works. I think I've developed feelings for you.
I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams.
Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. Well, but that's a reasonable response.
Yeah.
Like, attraction for someone that you met 2 days ago is not going to override your last chance at achieving your dreams, or at least your current chance at trying
drama, you know.
But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel?
Yes. Lola!
I honestly think this might be the beginning of something wonderful.
I think you're right. We should take things slow.
You talk late into the night and drift off into... You know? Better!
Yeah.
Drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence!
More flying chicken?
Yep. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Yeah, I have been playing actually for an hour 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it.
Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up.
Chicken and waffles?
I mean, well,
Close.
yeah.
Enough. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question.
So, would you say that we're the perfect match?
How presumptuous.
My cuisine and your taste buds, that is.
Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Well,
Take him down a bit.
honestly, he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't believe in promoting KFC as a brand,
yeah.
but let's face it, the point of this game is acknowledge that he is basically the god of this realm.
Uh-huh.
So, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window.
And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home and find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you.
Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you.
I broke my hand.
I mean,
It's okay. I was just...
But now it turns out that you're fine. I can probably get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam.
Sure, but
You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date!
I think I can believe that.
Since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know a little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control.
Did you just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? That is a sentence that I just read.
yeah, and this is a game that you are playing. It doesn't even faze me anymore.
I know it doesn't.
I think it's because I've just been numbed from all the blood vessels being...
It's okay.
Uh-huh.
No.
Oh yeah, I see how it is. The double standard at work here.
Well, also, this hurts more when you tap it.
That's fair.
Fuck you.
We are adults.
Apparently.
And no, I'm not really sure where we stand.
You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own might is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him.
You what?
Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on Why is that a... shit. What? If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right! After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, he's Pop.
Yeah.
What's a swirly? It sounds delicious.
I mean,
Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right now. I don't know what I was doing with that.
I don't know either.
He sounded.
I don't know what I was doing.
Well, I'm having some issues with my voice.
Mama needs some medicine.
I love my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
You can get your swirly dipped, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? I mean, he kind of seems like he's your own size.
Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature?
You've got some nerve, Lorelai, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse.
Alright, good night, Dawn.
Take care.
Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it! What? You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Well...
Yeah? Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up.
I'll never give up. Ever! Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears that things are getting close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on.
Is everyone excited for the final day of school? No lie! How's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon.
Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. You didn't win, technically.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive.
What is he doing complimenting her? Being a fair person?
Yeah?
She did put together a pretty interesting dessert. It was fairly elaborate, but who fucking cares? Whatever. But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce?
It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received.
Nails being long in a culinary school, I don't personally know.
Yeah, probably not the best move.
Yeah. That's a lot of words to say it was bland.
Excuse me, Lorelai. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself.
Maybe you should tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods.
Your character's a douche. Yeah?
See you inside. Lorelai!
Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages.
Wow! What's that book? It looks like bad news!
It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff.
A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful?
I could give you so many answers to that, having been in the pagan community for many years. I can tell you exactly who would decorate their books so elaborately.
Yeah.
I could think...
You better stop!
I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in a case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it'll probably help me focus better in the upcoming final exam.
That is way drastic! Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger?
Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out.
Not really.
No.
No.
It might distract me, but then what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's the point of cooking if it's not for this person that you love? And do you really think that he's going to be happy if he loses the person he wants as a business partner?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be all that. Considering he lost his last partner in a gunfight.
Yeah. Don't do it after all. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement.
I have an announcement to make. Shadow the Hedgehog.
I know, stop. What
Gentle,
is this?
gentle. Elbow
boy.
touch. Anyway.
I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of.
Is it you need to go for walkies? His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Huh. If he's breathing quickly, that's not usually hunger.
Yeah.
So, dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially
Yeah.
Sprinkles.
Because they might snap at you if you try and feed them.
Yeah. So, watch to see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window with the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside.
Terrence, I told you never to come back here! Terrence, I will destroy you, Terrence!
Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over but doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence?
You'd better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again!
After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone.
I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Lorelei, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see...
But before you can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class.
Oh no.
Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room.
Oh no.
I told you to save it for after class! You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger?
Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises.
But no! You had to show up to your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan. J&J forever! Watch us form a love triangle in midair as we descend! Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date.
I think everyone wants to pet the pup or Sabrina.
Oh yes.
Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care.
Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out all the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Well, he's dead.
No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank.
Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from.
Maybe the dead student?
In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Quite honestly, same.
Yeah.
Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school.
Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. TM. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena.
But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay?
Okay! I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor! How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone?
Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. I mean, I seem to be coming up on what is like...
Probably close to the end. Probably load.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're basically there. So, you don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way.
stallion and ride off into the sunset without me.
Of course not. Well, maybe. Sort of. But I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it. And a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. I mean, that is good advice.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to explore a relationship if you do find that you are attracted to someone and that you think something more meaningful may come of it, but
Yeah.
if it turns out that the first person who shows you affection is not the one, you can absolutely feel free to move on from that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Miriam's gonna use the book against Clank. Miriam gives you a big hug and rubs the tears from her cheeks.
I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup.
Is it gonna be a tiny soup? And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. What?
Sure.
While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. The location of your final challenge. A test of will. A test of courage. A test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off of Van the supposed man-man and his eviler counterpart Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of the recipe you've been working on. Laura's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders.
Who's come here for another cram session?
Lorelei, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam.
Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you.
Visualizing, huh? Well, that's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious.
You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. You know what? May as well be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, you got me. I'm doing a bit more than visualizing.
I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards.
So how slowly were they speaking that an entire pot pie could cook during the entire duration of the conversation? Kissing, probably.
I mean,
That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? I mean, it is kind of a specific smell.
it's kind of his thing.
Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else.
Oh no, is it burning?
No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably stop burning in a second if you don't pull it out.
Sweat marks.
Oh, yes.
The moment of truth.
You ruined it.
Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted.
I didn't invite you to eat it.
Well, shut up. I'm the chicken man. I do what I want.
Oh my god! Shut up! I'm the chicken man.
I
can
do what I want.
I feel like that's the fucking culmination of this entire game. You know what,
Yeah.
guys? Stream over. That's that. Oh god.
I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day.
There's no time left. The final showdown is upstairs? I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but there was some loud thumping above us.
Oh, yes.
The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules.
There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got.
You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll put you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect as his original recipe are, trademark, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious! Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air.
Colonel, please wait till we get back to the dorm room.
Shut up and do what I want. I'm the chicken.
Shut up, I'm the chicken man. I do what I want.
Egg wash!
Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth.
Best friend, faster! Faster blaster!
Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin.
Let's rock and ride!
Neither of those things should be involved with seafood.
Shut up, I'm the fish man. I do what I want.
Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray. You know, it's actually interesting that they all have, like, their signature areas.
Oh, yeah.
Off the tray with lightning speed.
Shallow personality spatula!
Even Clank gets in on it. See, I would have gone with 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique.
Message E1A. The chef you are calling is not available or is no longer in any service.
How is it already TM if you're still in school? You can trademark things. The only thing that you have to do is create it.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English?
Huh.
It's the singularity as was foretold!
We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct.
Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got the book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? Do it the hard way.
Yeah.
That's the lesson we got earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room.
Wonk. I believe in you. La la! I just love the headcanon that just turns into a chicken every time he says her name.
He's the chicken man!
And he does what he wants. Or who he wants.
Miriam notices too.
And I've always believed in you, Lorelai! Since we were little kids! Because I'm your best friend forever!
You mentioned that.
You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking?
Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you.
Oh, that's sweet, but you have an injured hand. Maybe she can help you with anything that you can't use your hand for. Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. Oh,
thanks,
sweetie,
bitch.
Please don't. Maybe.
It's a secret ingredient!
Oh no.
However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get that eye of newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes.
I guess he's Steve now.
It is I, Steve the Spork Monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out?
I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind?
Steve, the spork monster, notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh?
Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in this pot of salted water?
I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there.
Probably.
Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition.
I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during my scare tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck! Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win.
Bye, Jerry.
The options here.
Yeah.
I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win! Your hair turns...
You know?
I have given up. In life!
Well, you've both gone super salty. You've got to understand, folks at home, because of the lack of light in here, the illumination from the screen paired with the face Lorelai just gave me is priceless.
Anyway! Mac and cheese oranges, culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure. My hands are steady and also broken. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for...
Yes, Lorelai, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me.
Fuck off, Napster Blook! The power you'd been summoning immediately fades back out.
You interrupted my inspiring monologue!
Sorry.
My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery! You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Lorelai. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support.
I've been watching you today, and I must say, I am truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches.
And he steps up to your station and stands right beside you.
I'm here to help, for I am the chicken man, and I
Oh.
do what I want.
All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're gonna need it.
But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules?
Following the rules has never been my thing. I follow my heart. Also, the dog man says there are no rules, so...
What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on.
And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts.
Are you suggesting...
If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. Time's up, students!
With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for.
You must now prepare to present your dishes.
A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete.
It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank?
From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student.
I'm flying!
It sounds like it's coming down from that broom closet over there.
Miriam, would you mind?
Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants.
Pop, get down from there right now!
Let me guess, did Van Van have something to do with this?
When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse?
I thought a wedgie was a salad!
It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything.
I can't feel my legs! May I be excused?
Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks. Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to?
You wait to hear a signature word beep or other onomatopoeia, but there's none.
Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That only leaves 4 remaining students.
That was the entire class?
Please collect your final projects. Yes, it's been a long semester.
Wow, 3 whole days long.
But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish.
I've made tender udon noodles in a savory soup.
I mean, it's a skill.
I mean, my word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Narutokomaki I spy afloat in its itsy bitsy bowl?
Yes, Chef!
Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name.
Yes, Sprinkles! And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself.
Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue tip into the bowl.
Sublime! Would anyone else like a taste?
Not after your tongue has been in it.
Oh, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electronic toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself.
And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup.
A+! Rarely do I taste a dish that with as much... I apparently burnt my tongue. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours.
Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug.
Thank you, Lorelai, for helping me to believe in myself.
Van, you're up! Now, describe your dish.
Handsome.
I made uni over smooth egg custard with an Axune urchin shell topped with caviar.
Again, with seafood, I don't think that he did it carefully enough.
Yeah.
Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different cutted type of urchin?
Yes, Sprinkles.
A bit much, don't you think?
That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool?
Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around.
Please be gentle with my cuisine.
Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all of the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded.
My throat!
The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting.
Good job,
no.
you killed the doggo.
Oh no.
I can't eat this! It keeps poking my tongue!
So... Unfortunately, I need to step away for just a second.
Okay.
Do you mind entertaining the masses for a little bit?
Not at all.
I'm sorry to do this literally in the middle of the climax of the game, but...
No worries. But yes, it is I, the voice of many of these... Well, I would say lovable characters, but let's be honest, most of the ones I've voiced have just been, well, laughable at best. I will say this is giving me a lot of vibes from other games of its kind. A bit of, what the hell was that? That one father dating sim? Dream Daddy. That's it. I'm getting a bit of Dream Daddy from that. Maybe a smidge of Hatoful Boyfriend. I will say, despite this being a blatant advertisement for KFC, I appreciate all the anime references in there, like this guy obviously being a JoJo reference in and of himself. All the fast food references, and I will admit to one of my guilty pleasure animes being Food Wars, and I'm getting a lot of vibes from this game that seem to have taken influence from Food Wars. Which reminds me, I believe the 4th season is out this month. So I'd recommend checking that out if any of you out there are into cooking anime. Yeah. Some people... I've probably mentioned this at least once or twice before, but I actually had serious aspirations of going to culinary school when I was in high school. But ultimately I opted to go for a career in the sciences because I figured it would be easier for me to find a job with a science degree. I wouldn't say it was easy, but I did manage to get a job related to psychology after I got my master's in neuroscience. So, yeah, but even despite that, I've not lost my love of cooking and trying new foods, and even while Lorelei has been here, the entire time we've been sampling a bunch of different, tasty food spots here in Portland. And even last night we had a brief little hangout with our friend Chi-Chi. Had a good time there, tasting some of the food from another local restaurant. So, yeah, it's been nice to share what the city has to offer with my friends. And if anyone is ever in that area, I can't recommend enough the food here in the city, because, regardless of where you go, you're gonna run into something great. I'm glad you guys are enjoying my voice work here. And it's always a pleasure to stream with Lorelei, and it's honestly really fantastic to be able to do this with her in person this time. It might be a thing for the next couple weeks while she's out here. I realize this sort of detracts from the regularly scheduled programming you may have come to expect, but it's great. And it's always a pleasure to have you guys in chat, hearing what you think, and getting feedback from you guys. Yes. And Lorelei does amazing voice work for these as well. And yeah, you guys know she's fucking hilarious at this point. Out of all the voice work I've done, I'm not sure if I'd prefer to be known for the Chicken Man, but who am I to dictate that? Well, that's true. I'm not sure I want to go back to school for anything at this point in my life, heartfelt, but that's not to stop me from experimenting with stuff, rather. There's always a lot of stuff that'll influence me in this area, and a lot of things I still want to try. So, yeah, I've definitely got a lot I would like to do when it comes to cooking, and I would love to share that with my friend Lorelei. So, yeah. God, and I mentioned before that I got a lot of Iron Chef vibes from this particular background here. I did watch a lot of Iron Chef, specifically the American version, but also some of the original Japanese version on YouTube. I would watch every now and then. Cooking shows are my jam, and I can easily recommend a bunch of cooking shows on YouTube to people who are interested. There's the pizza show on First We Feast. No, wait, that's on Munchies. That's on First We Feast has Hot Ones, and the burger show. Binging with Babish. I believe Epic Mealtime may be having its very last episode this coming Monday or Tuesday. So if you're interested in seeing the end of that show, I'd recommend checking it out. Feast of Fiction is a pretty good one. It's where a couple people recreate a bunch of shows or a bunch of foods from your favorite shows, not unlike Binging with Babish. So, yeah, I think it's definitely important that more and more people go and check out the food scene on YouTube and just realize that there is so much talent out there. And now that your host is back, we will return to our regularly scheduled programming. Hello, partner. What was that?
That was
That's fair.
What answer were you expecting?
You know, I'm not sure.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back.
Boy.
Oh,
This was an
God.
interesting screen to be stuck on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
Anyway.
Anyway. Shall we? What? You Tarzan, me Jane? Something was lost in translation.
I think so.
Anyway, shall we?
Disqualified!
A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that the serving food in a bowl made of needles would make it difficult to eat? Detected, Van Van does not go gentle into the night.
Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount sympathy.
Yep.
Simplicity. I can't talk. This isn't the last you've heard of me.
Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk.
I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I can drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps to calm my agitated tongue.
I mean, it is pretty useful.
Oh, yeah. Next student. Ashley, it's time to step up. Now, describe your dish while you look directly into my ass.
Please. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. It kind of sounds delicious, but again, it's very
Over the top.
It's elaborate. Turkish delight with light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue. That is a lot of weird flavor combinations.
Yeah. That actually doesn't sound too bad.
Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd like that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece, which defeats the entire purpose of the fucking competition. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your ear? There's something Lorelai! I told you, it's a display piece.
Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful, but this is a cooking competition. At a cooking school.
Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted. But don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral.
If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified!
Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. You know what, honestly? Yeah, be an asshole if it can cook good food.
Yeah.
This isn't the last time you've heard of me, either!
If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself.
Well, an old dog can learn new tricks.
I mean,
You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together.
Two chefs?
What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese.
has become something else.
He examines it and this is another dish,
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh. What? I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays.
Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing. And it completely
and complete me.
I complete you?
Yeah, well, yes, that. And completely blew me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class.
That's not how this works.
You pass, and you pass, and you'll get a pass.
Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. 49 dog years. So divide that by 7.
Yeah,
Which is
7.
7. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even the Van Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. Oonce, 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 oonce.
Oh, yeah.
The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. That's not how those work, but compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, this humble decor seems downright cute and cozy.
DJ Dog is in the house! Oh!
You yodeled there a little bit.
Don't judge me.
Did you become a turkey?
Don't judge me.
That's really foul. The flicker of recognition in his eyes after I said that.
You dare invoke my delicious treats?
You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains.
Which apparently does not include wearing more clothes.
And apparently involves going back to the 80s
Yeah.
and early 90s. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting.
No ghosts allowed at graduation! It's clearly written in the school's bylaws.
I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me.
Oh. Amusing.
And now that everyone is together,
It's the Spork Monster. He is totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here on, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster! Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped in talking to Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance?
I wonder.
It's Pop.
Oh.
He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat a crown?
Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean.
Oh, now I get it.
And we get a new wing on the school. Not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such.
The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance.
Now that I've graduated, I can reveal my truth.
Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing.
I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension.
Thank you, Crackbox.
Thank you! So, bye all. Justice for Griffin. Save the Griffins. Unless he keeps making wisecracks, then you can kill him. That is absolutely valid.
Well, you might as well have just signed my death warrant.
Stop defending yourself!
It's instinct, damn it.
What? What?
I actually feel like I knew this the whole time.
Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me?
No.
I don't know what to say. And besides,
No, obviously.
I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank.
You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I mean, yeah.
I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird.
Okay, Mettaton. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives.
Of course. Howdy, classmates.
Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough just to give them a bucket of chicken. When you do voice things, nice things happen. So as this fresher's I'm sorry. I wish it could. Thank you so much again, Crackfox, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and feel better soon.
Take care, man.
Cannot believe that this game is even weirder than I thought it was. Alex!
Oh, yeah, you have no... Well, maybe if you had been tuning in, my dude.
Wow.
Yes.
This time it's a full meal.
I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken.
The end? No, it's not the end! As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor.
Lorelai? Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. Lorelai! What are you doing sitting all alone?
Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance.
I wonder, might you tell me what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person?
Why are you sweating?
Listen, I've eaten a lot of chicken. It's catching up to me.
Off the top of my head, oh, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few.
It truly is my lucky day. Oh, no, wait, I think that was your line.
Maybe.
Would you dance with me?
Yes, I would love to.
As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you.
And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off. And I'll be so glad to spend it together with you. Lorelai!
How sweet. We'll work together and play together.
Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks.
Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself.
But who will help you run your restaurants?
I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think that running restaurants is the best path forward?
Could it be? You found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef. Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love? The love of an entrepreneur?
I suppose I could enroll at pastry school.
Oh, my dear Lorelai! I'm sure you'll find your place eventually.
But you were offering me to become a fucking partner.
Listen, we all have our fickle days, and this is one of them. And along the way, you'll have me by your side.
The end! Is it? Is that the end?
Well, let's see if the intro actually works this time. Now that it's in windowed mode.
Just thinking.
I guess that answers our question.
Not responding.
Come
Come on, you can do it. You did it before.
Well, it tried. So that was I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Again! It is so extra my computer cannot handle it. Oh my god.
Just watching him fucking in the previous
I
screen.
know. So that was I Love You, Colonel Sanders.
What? Okay. It might be interesting to play through this on a different route, see what other options there could be.
Yeah.
I imagine that there's a path to supporting me or being with Miriam and all of that.
Yeah.
There's obviously quite a few different options I think that popped up along the way, including partnering her with Pop and other on and so forth. That was an experience.
Yeah, of that we can be sure.
I would also...
Recording. Oh,
it did go.
Oh, reconnection successful. Huh.
Okay, stream resumed.
Huh.
That was weird.
Yeah, so not sure if you people can hear us. Hopefully you can, but, yeah. Again, this game is too much for my computer to handle, apparently.
We can still hear us. That's good.
Yeah.
So, what I was gonna say, obviously this game serves as propaganda and free advertisement for KFC.
Yeah.
The playing of this game, okay, I'm going to give the people who made this game credit for creating something that is actually interesting.
Yeah.
And kind of weird. Definitely playing off of modern memes. Clearly, people who knew what they were doing that made this knew the audience that it was inevitably going to be handed off to. It's a free game, but
yeah.
The reason why I'm saying all of this is you are not immune to propaganda.
Yeah.
I'm putting this message at the end of this stream. I'm probably never going to get an endorsement from KFC, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen anyway. Yeah. KFC is a fast food business chain. It is I don't even know how many multi-millions or even billions company it's worth. It is, like anything else, a business.
Yeah.
And this game is going to make you feel more positively towards it, which is why they probably endorsed it.
Yeah.
They want you to think positively of it. They want you to think of this game and be like, lol, that was funny. Lol, that was clever. Lol, that was interesting. Yeah. And then you to be thinking of KFC and be like, well, look at all of this free advertisement.
I mean, in all honesty, I've never been a KFC kind of person.
I like the popcorn chicken, but that's kind of it. They do make some good food, but that's just it. I'm not saying never eat KFC, and I'm not saying don't support KFC if that's something you want to do. But, like, just bear in mind that stuff like this is actually in itself kind of insidious.
Oh, yes.
Because it's not obvious that it's it's obvious that it's manipulating you, but it's not obvious how it's manipulating you.
Yeah.
It's doing the, we're advertising our restaurant.
See, we're wise to the kids and their memes.
We know these kids these days and what they're doing with their time.
And their animus.
They're playing off of the fact that you are genre savvy and that you can tell that this is one big product placement. And they're counting on you shrugging that off willingly because, you are enjoying this game and all of that stuff.
I mean, I will say this. The only thing they got right here was the anime look because, in my opinion, Asians do fried chicken better.
I guess.
Yeah, just in my personal opinion.
But as always, I mean, I'll leave it to you guys about what I'm not going to judge you for getting KFC, and I'm not going to judge you for liking this game or liking KFC or anything like that. I'm just saying the only thing I want to ask is to try and be mindful of when something like this comes out, because it is inevitably some form of manipulation.
Yeah.
It is meant to make you think of these things positively. Now, I'm not going to deny that it was clever and that it was interesting. It was an experience.
Yeah.
But it is not... It is designed to manipulate you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's successful. I'm not going to be particularly fond towards KFC myself.
Same.
But, anything that I ask in this regard is literally just... try to be mindful of the media that you consume and what messages you are being conveyed. That is something that I hope to eventually convey a lot more clearly with my symbolism and lore series once I actually get things going with that on my new channel, which is going to be launching as soon as I'm done here in Portland.
Yes, it's also a message I hope to convey on a monthly basis with my series on my channel.
Which, if you actually like the content that he's making, feel free to go check out his channel, Cybernetic Pink Eye, and if you see a link, I think in the description of the videos usually,
Yes.
And I believe also linked in the videos themselves, possibly?
Well,
maybe
with
not.
YouTube working the way it is, I can't link to my Patreon.
You can't. Oh, okay.
Because
yeah.
I don't have 1,000 subscribers.
Right. But if you check out the description, you can check out his Patreon. Every little bit of support helps him quite a bit, especially as he continues to work on getting more hours at work while he's up here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. New channel plus new channel plug. Yes.
Yeah.
I am excited to be getting, to the new channel. That's going to be, again, a couple of weeks. I mean, I'm probably going to give myself at least a few days to settle in. So sometime early November is the plan for launching the new channel. And it's going to have all of the content things like the Ballad of Lorelei, symbolism and lore, all of that stuff. I'm going to have quite a bit of backlog to upload those to the channel. Once that's done, I am hoping to be continuing to work on the original content stuff and have more new things to go along the way. And I am hoping that in the meantime, that while I work on getting the new channel started, to be working on something else behind the scenes, a big project that I've probably touched on a couple of times.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's probably still going to be a big project, and it's going to be a little while before I can announce it in full.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work, it turns out, to be done with a project of this kind.
Funny how that works out.
But I will appreciate, and I know this is like having to do the plug thing, having to do the YouTube thing.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a necessary evil at this point.
Yeah. I know that everyone was like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not actually going to say that today. The actual thing, especially in relation to speaking about launching my new channel, is once I do launch it, I think one of the important things is going to be actually spreading the news of it, linking it as far and wide as it possibly can go. So, I know that this is gonna sound manipulative, and that's why I fucking hate it, but, when I do actually announce the launch of it, and, provide all links to it and everything, if you guys watching now and watching later can actually, spam it, not spam it, but, link it to places where you think people might like the content that I'll be putting on that channel. Things like, again, the original content stuff, the non-gaming stuff, that includes, song covers and things along those lines. How does coffee work? Well, it basically works at, I think it's in $3 donation increments, basically the cost of a coffee on average.
Huh.
But basically you can buy someone a coffee, and then they can take, it's $3 at a time. There's usually a slice that is taken out by coffee for hosting that. But it's usually pretty instantaneous. The person gets the money at hand put into their PayPal account.
Yeah.
Some people have advanced accounts and are able to do more with that. But just on a basic level, it's just a way, if you have an extra $3 that you want to toss someone's way, you can usually do that instantaneously. Patreon works more on the basis of, if you did $1 a month, you get whatever benefits people offer at $1 a month. But that's if you want to do a consistent thing, versus just a one-time, hey, I have $3 extra this month, but maybe not so much next month or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to set up, honestly, as long as you've already got a PayPal account.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. But once I actually do have the new channel actually launched, I would love to see what I can do to get it up to 4,000 watch minutes and 1,000 subscribers, as quickly as I can, so that I can actually monetize the channel. Again, I know this is I want to game the system so that I can monetize this shit, but honestly, if I can monetize what I'm doing, if I can actually make some sort of reasonable income on what I'm doing, then not only will I be able to do more, but I have plans to put that money towards paying people to work with me, paying artists and paying editors and things along those lines to help with producing more content and better quality content.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason why I am making this new channel. Outside of the fact that the YouTube algorithm hates what they label gaming channels.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, honestly, that is literally all I'm asking.
Oh,
Posting it to Discords or Twitter or anything. How dare you want to be paid for your work? Well, I mean, the thing is, on the one hand, I would appreciate if the work that I put into things, and I do put quite a bit of work into what I post, is appreciated and is something that can be something that I can rely on financially. But I don't want people to feel obligated to pay me. Like, I don't want to be like, holding out my hand here, give me money. I deserve money, all of the money. It's just, unfortunately, the rule of advertising is that the second that it starts to sound obnoxious to you individually is usually when you started to enter the arena of entering the public consciousness of other people. Yeah. Literally, marketing is based around this principle of just bombarding people so often that even if they hate the way that they're being bombarded, they still remember the product that they're being bombarded with.
Yeah.
I don't want to be obnoxious. I don't want to be that person who's just like, I need money! But unfortunately, I don't have a regular job. So this is kind of what I do. Sorry that this has gone from I love you, Colonel Sanders, to a condemnation of the economy as it exists and the way that corporate greed tends to work, to, hey, also, speaking of money...
Well, I mean, it all kind of comes together. I forgot how to speak. It all comes together thematically.
Either way.
This game has left me a broken man.
That's fine. That happens.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I said, I will have more details about the channel, but other than the fact that it's going to be where I post, it is. Honestly, you guys, like, I'm saying, I know this is like what everyone says, but the support that I've actually gotten as it is, people like doing donations during stream like Crack Fox and Skeeto earlier tonight, that kind of thing makes a huge difference to me. Like, literally, I'm able to do literally what I am doing right now because of the support that people have shown me, both through Patreon, through stream donations, and you know what? Even just being here and watching the videos, being here to watch the streams and all of that stuff, actually means a lot to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember my early days on YouTube for a very long time where I didn't really get much of a response. I put a lot of videos out, and it felt like no one gave a shit. So to now be in the middle of a stream and have people actually joining and chatting and hopefully enjoying what I'm streaming and all of that, that is a huge deal to me.
Yeah.
So that in itself, even just watching, and if you guys want to leave comments and stuff like that, that makes my day all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I am hoping to also take something of a professional stance with all of this eventually. Now, I say professional, I'm not going to be the trained professional who owns like 7 businesses and all of that stuff. That's not what I'm able to do. But either way, I think that wraps it up for today. That has been what?
Nearly 3 hours.
4.
4, yeah.
Nearly 4 hours since I started. Oh, that's...
Ah.
Oh, that's wonderful!
Congratulations! For those who can't see the chat, apparently someone in the chat is going to be an uncle.
That's wonderful! Hey!
Yes.
Congratulations! And I feel like, that's a pretty good note to end on. Like, finding out you're going to be an uncle, that's good news. For everyone who has been watching today, thank you for tuning in. For people who are going to be watching this when it later goes up on YouTube, thank you for watching. And hopefully you will be keeping an eye on this channel for when either I stream next week, hopefully same time, same channel, all of that, but also about 3-ish weeks from now when I'm planning, hopefully, on launching my channel, barring technical difficulties or some other complication.
Definitely.
But you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening or morning, depending on what time it is for you. And I honestly look forward to seeing you guys either next week or on a new channel. Anyway.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.